Hey everybody, it's the 4K Lowdown for a very special Top 10 Tuesday with my co-host.
Turnerfan77, aka Rich.
How you doing, Rich?
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
Good. Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Did you have a good day today?
Yeah, I had a good day.
That's good, man.
It's pretty much by myself, which is always good. So I got to, I worked on, did my job because I work from home, and
What's up, movie hunter?
title
The
says
title
title
says.
says Top Zero. Well, I guess that makes sense. We are doing found footage movies.
Yeah,
It is supposed to be a 10.
I didn't even
And
notice
I
it.
I didn't even notice it either, and
Yeah,
I can't change it now. I don't think so.
that's
That's
funny.
so funny. Nope, can't change it.
That's funny. How did we both miss that?
Nope. Oh man. All right. So welcome to our top zero found footage movies for Tuesday. Um, we're basically you picked five, I picked five, and by found footage, I don't mean just found footage. We were talking about if it's film documentary style or if it's film point of view or if it's found footage where someone, miraculously picks up a tape and it turns out to be the Blair Witch in the woods. But we did not pick that one.
No, we
It,
did not.
we did not pick that one. And we did not pick, I mean, my favorite found footage or POV film is End of Watch. And since we did that in our thrillers,
Mm-hmm.
we're not going to repeat that here. Um, but that left us pretty much open. There's a whole bunch of found footage movies out there, especially going back to '99 when Blair Witch Project came out, and it basically saved the horror genre. I think because the horror genre was dying, and
Yeah, it
then
was.
Blair Witch comes out, and then all of a sudden everything's found footage because they're like, oh wow, we only need like 20 grand of a budget, and we can put on a movie and make 150 grand and 150 million in the box office. Great, let's do that. So
Exactly.
they did that, and we got the Paranormal Activity franchise, and we got VHS franchise, and we got
Which I want to
um,
go in farther into. I've only seen the first one, and I'm looking forward to jumping into the rest of those.
nice, nice. I have seen all of them, and there's going to be another one.
Oh, is it
There's
really?
another one coming. Because we had VHS 94 from Shutter, and I think they're doing another one. It's VHS 99 or something like that. So there's going to be another VHS movie coming, probably
Oh.
within the next year, I think.
So
So
what are you
that'll be
drinking tonight,
interesting.
man?
I got my tea.
I got
Same as
my
same as always. Doing my tea. You're
iced.
doing your sparkling ice. What flavor you
Yeah.
got? Looks like lemon lime or something.
Yeah, lemon lime. Citrus twist. We'll
Same thing.
change it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Turns up. Well, and my daughter just came home.
She's gonna give you a hard time. Oh,
Yay!
hi. How you doing? Like, who's
You
this
say,
crazy
you say
Mexican?
hi, or you can go. Okay. She was in the car. She seemed a little groggy.
Movie Hunter says, "Yep, Blair Witch was great. I saw it in theaters day one, and all the hype and news shows about it has everyone thinking it was real. It was. I mean, I
hmm
loved it.
Everybody, yeah. Oh man, it blew. I mean, of course, people were kind of butthurt about it because it turned out to not have been real. But
Right?
I'm
Isn't that
like,
weird?
that's who
Isn't that
cares?
weird?
It's a movie,
Yeah,
and that was my first thing when Blair Witch first came out. They were like, oh,
it's okay.
they found the stuff. Jerry, what's going on, brother? Um, but that was really funny because they're like, oh wow, we found this tape and blah blah blah, and you're like, oh crap, it wasn't really real, and I'm like, so what? That was
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I knew it was a movie, so
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't release it in the theater if it was real. If it
Yeah,
actually
people don't
really
think.
happened, they wouldn't have released it in the theater. I'm sorry, that just wouldn't have happened.
Right.
Um, but God, like it spawned like this um, rat's nest of found footage movies that came out.
Agreed.
like by the hundreds. It was like Blockbuster was just throwing up found footage movies
Hmm.
left.
I
And
mean, the thing I love, I mean, we all love watching movies. That's why we're doing this. I
mhm,
think the thing I love the most about found footage, it seems like, go back to Blair Witch,
it
it
does. It
seems real.
it
And it
seems
takes you out of this, out of
yeah,
your world, and then really makes you into this movie. It takes
right.
you into
It
it.
right. Exactly. It sucks you in
Yeah.
because you're thinking, "Oh, I could be the guy holding the camera. I could
Yeah.
be right in the middle of that." So that could really happen to me. And yeah, and I'm a sucker for found footage. I love it, but it's a love it or hate it kind of thing. There are people that absolutely hate found footage movies.
And I
Um,
understand that if the camera's all
yeah,
juddery and
shaky and stuff
yes.
like that. And I get that, but for me, man, the lower the budget, the better.
Yeah.
I want it to look grainy and crap. I want it to look like I filmed it with my phone
Yeah.
as I'm running through the forest. And it was really weird. Uh, they were doing this their special found footage movie, and I don't think my clip actually ended up in it, and I've never seen the movie. I couldn't find it, but they were filming this movie, and basically they wanted a bunch of people to film scenes on their phone. All they had to do was design this mask, and it was basically just a flat white mask that you can buy at a party store, and you just draw a red cross on the forehead. Okay,
What year was this?
this was maybe 10 years ago.
Oh, that sounds familiar. Like, what was that movie magazine that used to be published quarterly? I
It was like
thought,
Fangoria or something like that.
no,
I know
not
Fangoria was
Fangoria.
big, but there were a few like
Um,
um
'Cause that sounds familiar. I wonder if I read it in there.
maybe, but yeah, I got a thing online about it. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. So I filmed a scene because I live up in the woods um, here in California, and I was Rue
Well,
Morgue. Got a does that does that make sense with what we're talking about? Because anyway, there was so I filmed this scene that I'm walking with my phone, and I had a buddy of mine who was like 6'3" wear this mask that I bought and designed, and I was just walking through the woods, and you can see him behind me in like
that sounds
certain
familiar.
shots, and I'm just kind of walking down this trail, and he's like in different spots, and you can kind of spot him, and then all of a sudden I'm like I look and I see him, and I take off running, and I'm still holding my phone like this, and you can kind of see him chasing me, and you're just catching like bits and pieces of it, and
That's
then I
cool.
sent it in. It was like a little 2 or 5 minute scene. It wasn't much, but yeah, I didn't hear anything about it. I didn't get any confirmation. I already signed the waiver that they could use it, and then they were supposed to let me know if it ended up in the movie. But um, anyway, it was fun. It was fun to shoot. Made me want to do more little scenes like that.
That's cool.
Um, but okay, so we're looking at these 10 movies, and I gotta say, when we watched the trailers just before the show, I was feeling it. There was some the trailers are really good.
Horror
Oh,
magazine.
Room Morgue is a horror magazine. Maybe
Oh,
that's the
I don't know. I
the
just, it sounds familiar. Because I used to buy all those magazines, Fangoria, is it Starlog? Um, there's like a handful of them I bought. I just read them
yeah.
cover to cover because
I
there's
used
no
to I
internet
used to
back then.
read I used to read Fango all the time. I was
Yeah.
a huge Fangoria fan. Um,
Hey, can I wish a friend of mine happy birthday real quick? I don't know if you're
Go ahead,
watching.
bro. Do it.
Hey, I want to wish Molly happy birthday. Hope you're enjoying your day. It
Happy
looks
birthday.
like. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. Um, um, Jerry gave us some fire. Thanks, bro.
Jerry's
Uh,
awesome, man.
Jerry's awesome, man. He comes on just about every show. And
So does Ryan. Thank you, man. Thank you
oh,
guys.
and Brian, yeah, and there's we got a few loyal
Yeah.
loyal fans. Um, you know, we can't all be like mid-level media and have just
Yeah.
100 or so people on live
And we're grateful for
spontaneously.
every one of you, man.
We're grateful for everyone that comes on, watches it on the replay, that likes, all the subscribers. Um, uh,
That interact. We
you make,
appreciate
yeah,
that.
would love the interaction. It just makes our day and makes our show.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. All right, so let's jump into our first movie. What do you say?
Yeah, let's jump right into it, man.
All right, here we go. First movie, and I don't know if this is either going to be yours or mine. Exist, it's yours.
Oh, I love this movie.
And I got to say, so this is from 2014, and all I'm going to say is finally a good Bigfoot movie
Yes.
because I wasn't a fan of Willow Creek. I actually
I liked Willow Creek.
I went and found my review of Willow Creek, and I actually didn't give it as bad of a score as I thought I did. I remember not liking it, but I did give it in the 60 range. I think I gave it a 62. Um, but that's interesting. So
Definitely check it out.
if you get
Movie
a
Hunter.
chance to check it out, it's
I
good.
think it's
And
free on
it,
Tubi or somewhere.
oh
Um,
yeah, probably. Let's
it's a
see.
really good Bigfoot movie, and the Bigfoot looks awesome in it. The
Yes,
costume in it is very realistic looking.
yeah. It says watch it on Plex.
There was something. Yeah, maybe there was something I seen it on. It's for
Um,
free.
anyway, so yeah, I've got the DVD. Where did I put my pile of movies?
I have it on DVD too, and I bought it digitally.
Nice. Exists. Shpow.
Yep,
Um, I enjoyed this, and I enjoyed watching the trailer. So
I do too.
I was like, okay, cool. That was pretty awesome. And I remember liking this movie. I liked how it developed. I liked how, and it's from the director of the Blair Witch Project, so you get a lot of that same format. Starts out slow, a little bit here and there, see this, see that, starts building and
Mm-hmm.
building and building, and then blam, all hell breaks loose in the end. Um, and that's the standard. That's a standard format for found footage. Really, it starts off slow and then builds as you go along.
Yep.
And we'll talk about that as we go along, as we go here through these movies. I'd say with the exception of one, but and I think you'll know what I'm talking about when we get to it. Um, Now, this is an interesting thing because what I like best about found footage movies is that I don't recognize the cast.
Thank you for saying that, because I was going through these movies because I take notes now to be more a little bit more professional. Um,
Good because I still don't. So,
um,
but
the I didn't want to know these cast members because it takes you out of it. I don't want to see Tom Cruise in a found footage movie. As
no,
great as he is, I don't
because
want
I'm
to
like
see.
it's still Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
I'm not buying into it.
yeah.
Um, and there are a couple of movies in here with cast members that we recognize,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm kind of wondering if we could because for exists, I I don't
I
recognize
only
anybody.
recognize the one person, and it's because she was on Friday Night Lights. She was in Chicago Med, Chicago Fire. Um, that's the
Yeah,
only way I knew
I
her.
didn't watch any of the Chicago's.
Because
But yeah,
if
no,
you're
I
wondering if
didn't
you're gonna
recognize
go
anybody in this
where I
movie
think
at
you're gonna
all.
go with this, I am on the same page with you.
Okay. Um, so where I'm thinking of going is scoring the cast in reverse.
Yeah, or I was thinking taking it out, so it didn't. Cause,
Yeah. Well, I was thinking that if we are like, okay, or scoring the cast in not in our traditional way. So we were going, okay, two if we recognize the person by face
right,
and name, one if we just recognize the face. I don't want to do that. So what I want to do is kind of like how we do for animated movies. We talk about the voice acting, whether we
mm-hmm.
recognize them or not, and if we like that, and we score it based on that. I think we do that. So where
Let's do that.
if the cast exists, so we're just going to put a number on the cast based on did we if we recognize them, was that okay? Did it take away from the movie? If we didn't recognize them, was that better, and and then do our points based on that. So for exists, I loved that I didn't recognize the cast.
I did too.
So I'm gonna slam an 8 on that.
Um, I'll go with an 8, even though I recognize what's her face,
You
but
recognize what's right?
she's not a big time.
It's
She's
not a
always
big
this.
time thing, but yeah, if you watch the movie and went, oh, that's the chick from Chicago Fire, I if you're like, oh, well, that kind of makes it, because it's a found footage movie, that makes it less. So in
Right,
that case, in this case, probably not, but
right,
maybe you'd go a 7 or a 6. You'd go down if you recognize the person,
right.
basically. So, okay, so we're both at an 8. We're cool with that. What do you think of the acting on it?
I think it felt real. It felt like they were
I liked it.
scared.
It wasn't too cheesy. I felt the
Hmm.
emotion. I agree with that.
Yeah,
Um, I'm going to put a 7 on it.
I was gonna go 8.
Okay, nice. All right. So, talking about the plot, and we've almost eliminated reading the box. So, we're not going to read the box.
Yeah,
We're just going to go by the trailer that we watched. What do you think of the trailer? How would
yeah, it's
you?
a 10, straight up 10
I
for
was a,
me.
I was down for the trailer. I am not
Hmm.
going to give it a 10. I'm going to give it an 8, but I
As soon as they
really
said
liked it.
Bigfoot, you had me.
Yeah. You
As
had
soon as,
well, yeah, you had me at Bigfoot, but
yeah,
I've been so gun shy about a Bigfoot movie that when I first watched it, I'm like, I don't know, it's a Bigfoot movie, I don't know. But they
see, I
showed
have two
enough
standards.
that I think they showed too much of the Bigfoot in the trailer.
Oh, when he's running
And
by,
yeah, running
yeah,
by, or you see the face in the
yeah,
boards.
yeah,
That I was like, I didn't want to. And one of the other movies that we're going to talk about, the trailer doesn't show the creature, and that made me want to see it even more. So yeah, so that's why I'm going with an 8 for the plot. Um, so we average out to a 9. What do you think of the ending of
I
this?
loved it.
It's good.
I love the ending. I'm
Yeah.
gonna. It's not a 10.
No.
It's a 9
Yeah.
for
I'm
me.
at a 9. I'm at a 9 for the ending too. I totally agree. It's not perfect, but like I said, it's the best. It's the best Bigfoot movie I've seen.
Yes, I have two. You said you gun shy about uh, Bigfoot movies. I have two standards, and
Mhm.
that is, well, I think they're three. Um, Boggy Creek exists, and then the one you don't like, Willow Creek.
Yeah,
I
Willow
think they're
Creek.
three.
I
I
got to go
liked it.
back and
You
revisit
never
that
see.
because I remember not liking it, but when I found my review on the 4K lowdown, or the DVD lowdown at the time, I didn't give it a bad score. So maybe I was just disappointed because I wanted more out of it.
Right.
With Bobcat Goldthwait as the
Hmm.
director, and I wanted more from it, and I think that's why I was disappointed. But it wasn't bad. I just was disappointed in the movie. Okay, so let's talk about the story. And um, again, with found footage movies, you really don't get a whole lot of story. There's a few
Right.
exceptions in here that really tell a good story, but for the most part, it's I'm just gonna use an example. You're in a haunted house, shit starts happening, and you run, and that's kind of and that's the gist of a found footage movie. Oh,
Hmm.
we found this tape, and these people are in this house, and they do this thing. There's one movie called Knock Knock, which is a found footage film. The obscure ones that I bought, that really did that. You have basically, they're doing this tour of like where people died, and they're doing it on their own, and they end up going in this abandoned house where this family was killed, and then all this crap starts happening to them, and it was just that's it. That's the story. And they're just in the house, shit happens, people start dying, and you know that's that's it. But for something like that, that's all I need. I don't
Right.
really, I don't really need character development and background and flashbacks and things like that, but we do get it with some of these movies. So with that, we don't get a huge story with this.
No. But
It's,
I think
hey,
we get
we're in a
enough.
cabin, but I think we get it's simple, it's direct,
But
and
you
it
know
makes a
why.
point. Yeah,
It,
you
it, it's
understand.
yeah. I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't
Yeah,
seen it.
you understand. It's
Oh shit! Sorry, knock my remote
it's
off.
well, you can tell by the trailer. It's cabin in the woods.
Yeah,
Shit starts happening because you know, and it's a
but
lot
the
like
reason it happens
yeah,
is
there
is a good reason.
yeah. There's a good yeah, there's good closure. There's a good reason
Yeah,
why yeah, what is happening with the Bigfoot is happening. So, but yeah, I don't want to spoil that either.
I don't know.
That's something that's worth running into. Um you get just a taste of it in the trailer though.
Yeah,
And it's just slightly mentioned. So just kind of go through it, watch the movie and you'll understand. But
definitely. If
anyway,
you haven't seen it,
s-
go see it.
that being said, story, I'm actually going to give this a 6.
I was gonna go about 7.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk about the genre is horror and the type is found footage. So with the horror movies, we go with the total scares and then the jump scares and the special effects. So, what do you think about the scare factor of the movie? And one thing that I because I think the found footage thing kind of enhances the scare
Mm-hmm.
all the way through because you're like there's tension because
Yeah,
you're constantly looking
yeah,
in the camera trying to see if you see something because something's bound to happen or something
yeah.
is going to jump out and bite you.
You're
Um,
looking from corner to corner on your screen.
exactly, you're constantly on
Yeah.
edge watching the camera because something's going to appear in some obscure spot that you need to catch.
Yep.
And I think that's where I like this. My heart rate goes up, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm actually gonna go 7 on the
I'm
scares.
gonna go 8.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, I'm at an 8.
Now the jump scares I thought were really good here,
I
and this is
agree.
where so I'm actually gonna go a 9 on the
I,
jumps.
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's a 9.
Um, because that's where you get the surprise. Like they're looking through
Mm-hmm.
the board and then bah, and you're like, okay, that's a jump scare. Love it. And you get a couple of false jumps in here too, which are still
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool because you're anticipating something's going to happen and something doesn't happen, or you get a scare but it's not what you think it is. So I do kind of like those because um, it keeps you it keeps you wanting more or it keeps you in anticipation that something's going to happen. It's just don't cry wolf too many times. Is kind of where I
Yeah,
was
I
getting
hate
at.
that.
I hate it when it's
I
like,
hate that.
oh, it's a cat, and oh, it's the
Mm-hmm.
you know the doorknob just rattled, or oh, this happened, or oh, that happened, and then finally they do a scare, and I'm like, I'm tired of it because you gave me like
Mm-hmm.
18 fake ones for one real one, um,
Yeah.
and I guess my daughter liked that. She said that's what she said. Okay. Um, Anyway, moving right along, let's talk about the special effects. And you said yourself that the effects on the Bigfoot were good, and
Yeah.
they were practical. They had a dude in a
Yeah.
suit,
I watched the
and
actual watch the special features on that,
yeah,
and dude, I'm for me, and I'm picky when it comes to Bigfoot. I love the Bigfoot
hmm
um, cryptid. I love everything about Bigfoot.
oh yeah,
So this for me is a 10. This has to be the best looking Bigfoot put to screen. Period.
yeah. I'm at a 9 for sure.
And there's a scene later on towards the end of the movie. I'm not gonna spoil it, where you see um, stuff. And what I liked is they had the flies flying around.
hmm
Um, and to me, everything looked real right there. It looked, it didn't look cheesy. It didn't look like they went to Dollar Tree and sprayed, made them look fake. I mean, it looked real to me as I'm watching the movie.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. So with the found footage style, I
Mm-hmm.
look at The total, and I don't want to call it cinematography, but that's the only thing I can call it. But basically the point of view filming of the movie, was there too much shake? What would you give that on a 1 to 10? Because
I'm
that
I'm gonna
this is one of
go.
the yeah, this is one of the
I'm,
better ones I've seen.
I'm gonna go 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm totally down with a 9.
When he's on that bike, when he's bicycling out to get help, I
With the
thought that was
GoPro,
cool.
that was
Yeah.
really neat.
Yeah. And
Hey,
you see him look, and you see the Bigfoot running after him. Oh,
yeah,
I love that. That's probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And then the creep factor. Found footage movies, I want to be creeped out. I want you to,
Yeah.
do something to creep me out. And I kind of like that here too.
Me too.
There was a good creep factor.
Yeah.
Um, so
I'm gonna go an 8 for me.
I think, yeah, I'm thinking 8. That's a good even number. So
And
let's do
there's
that.
a scene. It's not a spoiler or anything. Um, but to me was really creepy was um, when he puts the cameras outside of the cabin and you see the silhouette of it just creeping along outside the door. I thought was really cool.
Yeah,
That that would freak me out.
yeah, nice. All right, movie number 2. Let's let's grab. Let's see if I can grab one of the ones that I picked. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, fourth kind,
Oh, this is another great one.
dude.
This is a great movie.
Okay, so this one is interesting. It does.
The
It's kind of
marketing on this is fantastic.
uh, absolutely. They really played this
Mm-hmm.
off just amazingly,
Yeah, they did.
and it. I mean, so much that it made me go, and I had to go and look stuff up
Me too.
because I was like, okay, wait. So that was, because I was like, was it a real documentary and then a reenactment documentary
Yeah,
with Mila Jovovich? And no, it's two fake documentaries. one
yeah,
with one with a true actor, and then one with another actress that's not very popular. So I thought that really added a good element
yeah.
to it. It was really cool because um
And I never known how to say her name until she said it.
yeah, because yeah, it's not Joe, it's Yo.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I still say Joe,
Me
but
too.
it just happens. But yeah, if I ever met her in real life, I would say her name properly.
Yeah,
If I don't, she can kick my ass,
yeah.
and she
She
can
can
kick
do
my
it.
ass anyway. She can kick my ass anyway. So I'm interesting. This is interesting with the cast because, of course, I recognize Mila
Mm-hmm.
Jovovich. I said it right.
Yeah,
I
Bill
recognize
Patton.
Elias Koteas, who's the other
Yeah.
doctor.
Mm-hmm. There's
There's
three of them I
there's
recognized.
there's somebody else.
Tom Patton, Bill Patton,
Oh, right. That's not.
Will Patton.
It's Patton. Will Patton. That's
Yeah,
the
Will
one.
Patton.
The cop.
Yeah,
Um. So yeah, I
had to go to
recognize
my notes.
him. I recognize Corey Johnson. He was actually in the first Hellboy movie, but I didn't know his name. Um.
There was three by name and one I recognized.
Yeah. But I really liked that their quote unquote real footage, real documentary footage. I didn't recognize any of them.
Me either.
And I enjoyed that a lot because that made me think that the documentary footage that they did side by side or that they went back and forth with was actually real,
Yeah,
and um, I bought into it.
I
Hook,
did
Land,
too.
and Singer when it first came out. Um,
And here's where the cast doesn't hurt that, in my
yeah,
opinion, does not hurt
no,
the
because they said the
mhm.
cast, the people that they're doing a dramatization of the documentary,
Yeah.
and we're showing the documentary at the same time. So yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Nope.
Um, so with that, I'm gonna have to go 9 for the
Yeah.
cast because I really liked how they played it.
Me too. It was great. I mean, the people that they got to do the reenactments or
Hmm.
the documentary part, not the reenactments, man, they were fantastic.
They were
I,
amazing.
and I don't want to be disrespectful to the real. I shouldn't say real actors, to the bigger actors.
Hmm.
They did a better job.
They, if
Yeah.
knowing that that's also fake, they did a better job. Their
Yeah.
acting job was way better.
Hmm.
So getting to the acting, the lesser known actors, let's put it that way, were better than the more well known actors.
Yeah. The documentary doctor. That sounds hard to say. Documentary doctor.
Yes,
Dude, she was
the
fantastic.
she was amazing.
The way
I
her
believed
voice.
her. I was like
Yeah.
right on board with her reactions and her
Yeah.
face, and then I'm not going to say well, I'm just going to say the end. So not spoiling it, but what she did in the end, I
Hmm.
was like, dude,
Yeah.
totally down for that. That was like Jennifer Carpenter in Exorcism of Emily Rose,
Hmm.
like that type of face to where you're like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
shit." Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, unfortunately though, Mila Jovovich and the other bigger actors in the movie kind of brought the acting down a bit.
I agree.
Um,
For
so
me, I'm at an 8 on this.
okay, and
If it
I
wasn't
think
for,
yeah, I think I'm at a 7. Um, so if it wasn't for what, I'm sorry I
it
interrupted
would
you.
be a 10 if it wasn't for
If it
the
wasn't for
the main
yeah,
act.
if it wasn't the main actors, if it wasn't
And that
for
sounds so weird to say that.
it's so weird, yeah, because Mila Jovovich, I love her to death, but she
I do
can't
too.
act.
No,
She's not a good actress.
no.
She's beautiful and she kicks ass,
That's all she
and
does.
that's all I need her to do.
Yeah.
Will Patton was so over the top
Yeah, he
in
was.
that movie. He was awful. He was he was better in Halloween Kills,
I was going to say that.
and he played the same character. He was the same
Mm,
dude. He was a cop, but he was
yeah.
so over the top in Fourth Kind that it was
Yeah.
ridiculous. Um, his yelling when he was always on 10 when he was like, "Ah," and
Yeah.
it, yeah,
Even just when I have
totally,
a conversation, he's yelling at me.
yeah,
I was like, well, bring it down a little bit.
totally blew me away. Now for the plot, I uh, the trailer, I'm at a 10 for the trailer.
11.
That that's it. Yeah, 11.5. I would be like, no, I would have no problem with that. That trailer is so epic. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember seeing that for the first time, and I'm like, I'm going to the theater to see that
Yeah.
movie.
I was blown away. That was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, it was so good. Now, the ending, and what do you think of the ending? Because again, the 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 big actors brought down the
hmm,
ending from the documentary actors,
yes.
because that was great. I would just watch the left side of that screen all day long. Scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But the right side, I was like, okay, so it was like, when you watch America's Most Wanted and they reenact the guy robbing the bank, but
Hmm.
he has no personality at all.
Yep.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
It was like you don't feel the pain. You don't
Yeah.
feel the fear
Mm-mm.
from the right side. The left side, you felt the fear.
Oh man, that
So
girl, that lady. I'm surprised we haven't seen her
I haven't seen her in anything else.
now.
I'm really surprised.
Yeah, because she was really, really good.
She was amazing.
For me, I'm at an 8 on that.
Yeah, I'm at an 8 too.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going
And
to
the
say.
thing too that I love that they did was the end texts at the end
Mhm.
of the screen. I said, "Oh
Mhm.
shit, that's a nice little touch."
Mhm.
They could just ended it right there. And
Yeah.
but I like how they drug the story out just a few
They
more
gave you
minutes.
just a little bit more
Hmm.
information at the end of it, and just, yeah, dug it. I love the information
Yeah.
at the beginning. I think my favorite part, and they showed it kind of in the trailer, was when Mila Jovovich comes up and says, "This is going to be a dramatization
Yes.
of a real documentary that happened."
Yeah.
That was the only time I felt her act in the movie. I'm so sorry. I love
Uh,
you so much.
yeah.
Mila, don't hurt me. But I'm just sorry. She can't act. It's just not.
No, she can't.
Um,
She's a pretty
uh,
face.
She's
and
a
then
pretty
kick our
face.
ass.
She's yeah, she'll kick our ass in a heartbeat. Um, but yeah, and man, I feel bad saying it, but it's true.
Yeah,
I can't be dishonest about it. She's not a good actress. I don't I don't get her movies because I want her acting. I
right.
I get her movies because I want to see her kick ass or get naked. But it's and you get a little bit of both in Fifth Element. So I was like, that's
And I think that's her worst performance, to be honest.
oh her worst act. Oh yeah, absolutely. Because she's having to make up this language and stuff, and I was
Yeah,
like, okay, whatever, dude.
she was a
But
model
still,
first, wasn't she?
yeah, she was.
That's what I thought.
But so was Charlize Theron, and she's a brilliant actress. So
Oh man, she's great.
um, she's amazing. But okay, so story. This,
I like the
this
story.
I like the story. I like how
I
this played out,
I do
and
too.
mainly because of the whole side by side with the real documentary and then the reenactment. I thought that was really cool element, and
I like that.
I loved how that story built. So yeah, I'm gonna throw an 8 on the story.
I'm gonna go a little higher than you. This is your pick. This is a 9 for me.
This is my pick, and you're going
Yeah.
higher than me. I'm down for that.
Um, have we seen that in
Seen
any
what?
movie since that style? I
This
haven't.
style? No, I've
No, I
never seen
haven't.
this style before. I've seen documentary style, but it's always just one thing. But I've never
Hmm.
seen like a documentary over a reenactment documentary.
Yeah, I'm
I've never
surprised.
seen that. I've never seen that done since.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't.
Yeah, I thought she was amazing, and
Uh,
I was gonna say who the director was. He also wrote it.
yeah,
Um,
wasn't he
and uh,
the person
he
interviewing the?
he was the person interviewing the real doctor, quote
Yeah,
unquote. Yeah. Oh,
I can't say his name.
I can't
It's
say his name.
yeah,
There's a lot of O's in his name.
yeah. I don't want to be disrespectful.
I
I
don't want
just
to be disrespectful and butcher his name. It's like one of my favorite actors, and I can't pronounce his name. Um, okay, so again, I have this as a horror. This could also count as a sci-fi because it's an alien
hmm
abduction thing. But I went horror because there's not a lot of technology here.
no.
So it takes away from the sci-fi genre. So we go horror genre, total scares. How
Oh
would you
man,
rate the scares?
I'm at an
I
8 on this.
I I think I'm at a 9 on the scares because I loved it. It was just on a simmer.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it was just bubbling the whole time, and then you know it's like have you ever cooked macaroni and cheese and you leave it
Hmm.
boiling in the pot too long and it just starts to come over the top. That's what it was like. It was like bubbling like right
Oh, that's a
there,
good analogy. I
and then
like
it
that.
went and then it comes pops up over the top of the pot,
Yeah.
and then it sits there and bubbles again, and then it pops up over the top. That's kind of the impression that I got in the movie. Um, so yeah, so I'm at a 9 for the scares for sure.
Just this movie's fantastic. Again, if you guys haven't seen this movie, track it down, watch it. If
Yeah,
you like aliens and you want a unique take on a movie or a unique style on a found footage movie, check this out.
yeah, definitely. That's really good. And even for those of you that don't like found footage, this is a different style, so you might
Yeah.
be into this. This might be something that tickles your fancy. Um, so pulling out the jump scares. What do we think of the jump scares here? And there's a
Oh,
couple.
yeah.
There's
I'm
some.
gonna stick
There's
at an
some.
8 on this
I
one.
think I'm at an 8 for that as well. Special effects.
Oh man, they're not over the top special effects, but they're
No,
very
it's not.
effective special effects.
The I love the like the the abduction flashbacks, if you
Hmm.
were, or whatever, where the light gets really bright
Yeah.
and then there's the static on the camera and things like that. I dig that. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. I'm at a 9 because I love
I'm
um,
down for that.
the way
I'm
the
not going to give it
dog
a 10, but I
too.
really liked how they did it. They
Yeah.
took they took a minimal amount of money and they did the maximum with it.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know what the budget was for this.
Yeah. It probably all went into salaries. Most of it probably
especially you
did.
got to pay Mila
Yeah,
Jovovich. A budget was 10 million,
and hers was probably 15.
and yeah, well, but yeah, the budget was 10 million, and she probably made 8.
Yeah, I thought you said. Yeah, I thought you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, budget was 10 million, and it grossed 47 million worldwide. So it did make a little bit of money. Um,
But I bet you it got more once it hit home video. I bet you they saw an uptick.
oh yeah,
And
I think so. I think so. People, especially in the theater, um, they kind of shy away from the found footage movies. Because this was 2009 when it came out, and by that time we were full on into it with um, I was gonna say with the Blair Witch Project and with the Paranormal Activity franchise. That was in full effect by then. So they
but
were probably like,
yeah, they were probably tired of because didn't
yeah.
felt it took a dip
It
for a
took a
while.
dip, and then it popped
Yeah,
back up. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I still think found footage saved the horror genre for
I
sure.
agree with that. I agree,
People
agree with that
people say
statement.
that people say, oh, Cannibal Holocaust, that's the found footage movie that saved horror movies. No, that came out in
No,
1970. No, it was Blair Witch Project. That's
yeah.
what I think saved the genre. Because after that, there was just a whole influx of found footage movies
What
on
year was
TV.
uh Blair Witch? You said 99.
99.
Okay, and I know people like to say Scream too, but I don't see.
I don't see Scream as found footage.
No, I mean saving
Oh,
the horror
saving the
genre.
genre. I think
Yeah,
definitely revamped the slasher movie for
yeah,
sure. It brought back the slashers. But as far as saving the whole genre, I think it was found footage that
I
did
agree with you
it.
because people
Okay.
like to be scared like that.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the camera work here. And I, I'm going to slap a 10 on it
Mm-hmm.
because this is the only one of its kind with the side by
Yeah,
side and filming it twice and making
yeah.
it look that realistic.
Mm-hmm.
That was I was just floored. It was so good.
Again, I'm shocked that we haven't saw this style.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't seen it since, and we haven't seen it
Mm,
before. I
yeah.
don't I can't recall anything. I mean, I do remember um movies, because they have movies that where they flash like real pictures or they show
Mm-hmm.
like the real event in certain aspects, but it's usually like at the end of the
Yeah.
movie where you get like what really happened. Um, Never during the film do you
No.
get like the reenactment with the quote real stuff, and I thought that was really neat. Okay, the creep factor it
Oh,
was
it's
creepy
10.
as hell. It
Yeah,
was
it's
creepy
10.
as a 10. It was
Yeah.
creepy as hell.
Oh, yeah. When they start talking about the owls, I was like, oh no, 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 because that's just creepy all in itself. The other one, she's putting them under
Hmm.
for the hypnosis. Yeah, and you hear them talk and hear them get scared. Yeah, that score good.
Yeah, pretty good score. All right. I want to get the point five because there's a point five on it, and just in case if we have a tie, I want to check the point five and we'll do the winner based on that. All right, number three, and this one is going to be your pick, and that is Host.
Yeah,
This was fun, bro. I
it
I
was.
really I really enjoyed this one. Um,
It came out at the
Phil,
right time.
exactly. It was filmed during COVID, so everybody had to use Zoom, and this whole movie's done on Zoom.
Yeah,
Um, I thought it was really good. It was really neat. And again, with exists, I didn't recognize
I didn't recognize
anybody.
anybody.
I didn't recognize
I had
anybody.
zero.
Not one freaking person, and I loved that.
Yeah,
That makes me love the cast. So I'm I'm actually throwing a 10 at the
I would agree
cast.
with that. Cast, yes.
because I was like, I didn't know anybody from Adam. They were doing this
Hmm.
thing, and
Yep.
it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Um, the acting wasn't great.
That's what. Yeah.
The acting, but it made me feel like they were real people.
Hmm.
But there was a
And
little
sometimes it
there's
felt like they were reading the
uh,
lines. I was like, oh, come on.
exactly, they were, you could, like they're doing this, like they're on the camera, but they're
Yeah.
actually reading their lines. You could see their
Hmm.
eyes moving back and forth. I, I'm okay with that. That didn't bother me too much. There was a little bit of over the top stuff.
Yeah. But I still enjoyed it.
I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I
That,
I am gonna put a 6 on the acting
I
though.
was gonna go 7.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay. Let's talk about the plot. So the trailer we watched.
I liked the trailer. The
I liked
trailer's
the trailer.
great.
It wasn't great,
Yeah.
but and I gotta say I bought this movie because not because of the trailer, but because they did this stupid test where they had 250 people watch 40 horror movies and then monitor their heart rate as they were watching the movie. And the host ranked the highest for the average heart rate of people watching the movie. So it was scientifically proven to be the scariest movie of all time.
No.
And I'm like, bullshit. But but was part I think part of that, I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that these 250 people had never seen this movie before because it was brand spanking new when they did this
Yeah.
study. And you have movies like The Exorcist in this stack that ranked number 21 out of the 40 movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I'm like, well, that's because everybody's fucking seen this movie. And once you've seen
Yeah.
the movie a bunch of times, your heart rate doesn't jump like that because you know what's happening and you don't get that anticipation. And I think you get more of I think my heart rate goes up with found footage more so than any other type
Yeah.
of horror movie
I
because
agree.
there's this tension that's happening all the way through because you don't know when something's going to happen. So um so anyway, they ranked The Host as the scariest movie of all time solely because of this stupid science project where the average heart rate of everybody was, I think, 88 beats a minute, and that ranked the highest. But the year before, the movie that ranked the highest was Sinister.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was
Hmm.
still number 2. And
Hmm.
again, I think the more people see the movie, the less their heart rate goes up
Yeah.
because they know what's going to happen. So I don't think it's a worthwhile test, but that's the reason why I bought this. And I'm like, okay.
Mhm.
And it even says the scariest film of the past decade.
Yeah. I
And
saw it. I
I'm
watched it
not agreeing
because
with
of
that either, but I did like it.
was I think it was Bloody Disgusting.
Hmm.
Um, I saw a trailer for it or something. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna sign up for Shutter and let's just watch it.
Yep. I don't have Shutter, but
Yeah, it was like
I,
$5, $6 a
I
month.
bought it. I bought a whole bunch of these Shutter movies.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
because yeah, me too. I still I still got I've got like 20 Shutter movies that I haven't watched because I started out, I was like, "Oh man, these Shutter movies are great." First two I watched was like awesome. And then so I started getting them at Walmart cuz they were coming in, they were under
Hmm.
$10 and I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm just going to start grabbing them." And then everything after that was just meh. And I was like, okay, well, it was okay. And then I watched another one. I was like, oh, well, that was okay. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done for a while.
Yeah.
I tried to watch as many as I could last October to try to get through the Shutter movies. Then I ended up cutting it off and
Hmm.
watching stuff that I really wanted to watch because I was getting a little bored. Right. So, but looking at this trailer, Like I said, I liked it, but I didn't love it, so I'm going to give it an
I'm at a
8.
7.
Okay. Um, and this is your movie, bro.
Yeah. Remember
Okay.
what I said before we came on? I was like,
Mhm.
hmm,
Yeah,
I
because
got
you
the
were like,
one.
man, I think I might have taken that off. And I was kind of the same way. One of my movies I wanted to take off and replace with something else, but it turns out you hadn't seen it. So I was like,
Oh,
well, we
yeah,
won't
that's right. That's
we
right.
won't do that. But I still love that movie, so I'm okay with us having that one back in there. What do we think of the ending of
It
Host?
was okay.
It was, I mean, I liked it.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I'm going to go about a 7.
Yeah, I think I'm at a 7.
I think this would have been a better movie if Unfriended hadn't came out.
I okay. Um, I didn't care for Unfriended. I think I liked the second one better,
Okay.
but I didn't care for the first one. And I think there's another movie that the one that you have that we're going to talk about later. I liked that better than any of them,
Oh, yeah, I
and
100%
I
agree.
would be like, that's what I wanted Host to be, was something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool.
Hmm.
They really did a good job on it. But you know what? I'm going to go 8 for the ending, so we'll go 7.5. But I really did not care for the story here because it was just, you know, seance, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We're going to do some
It's
crazy
just,
stuff because we're in COVID. And then all hell breaks loose. And
yeah.
the one thing I can say from doing my other podcast, because I was doing a
Hmm.
podcast before summer and it was called Spirits with Spirits. And basically, what I did was I co hosted with a guy from Colorado. And what we did was we drank alcohol and we talked about the paranormal. The one thing I can say, because his house is haunted, my house is not. I I make it a point to where, um, because I'm a sensitive, I make it a point to block my house from any paranormal activity. I don't. There's a lot of Native American stuff going on up here, so I kind of protect my house so spirits and stuff don't come in. Anyway, when I was doing that show with him and we were connected, his ghosts were affecting my house.
Really?
Yeah, I was having stuff fly off the shelves, lights were turning off and on, movies were pausing while I was playing them. It was really weird. I
Oh,
was watching
hell
one
no.
movie and all of a sudden my movie paused, the light turned off, and I was like, what the heck? And I've, walked through and some of my Funkos go flying off the shelf at me
Oh,
and
hell
just
no.
just weird shit. And I was like, okay. But since we stopped doing the show for the summer, I haven't had anything like that happen.
That's a gateway, man.
Yeah,
You gotta be careful with that, man.
seriously.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that makes me a bit apprehensive on restarting because I mean I still want to do that show because I enjoy it. We rate paranormal places, but um, his
I'd be a little nervous with the
because
kids in the house.
yeah, and that's part of the reason why I put this barrier around my house is so my wife, my daughter, my granddaughter, they're all protected. Um, because if you're sensitive, then spirits and stuff tend to kind
Hmm.
of seek you out, and that happened when a neighbor down the street passed away, and she kept coming to my house,
Oh,
and that's
hell
when I
no.
started. I was like, oh hell no, and that's when I started protecting the house.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, but that made me think of this story, and that's the only part that I believed is because I can really see that happening.
Yeah.
um and Ghost Adventures crew and stuff like that, they've actually been able to do that in their investigations where they investigate multiple locations and the ghost can travel between locations, because they're online together linked up. So on that note, I did like that part of the story, but I still am not going to go above a 5 for the
Yeah.
story. So I'm gonna have to give it a 5. I'd give it a lower score if it wasn't for that one piece that I believe is possible.
I'm gonna go with 6
Okay.
on it. I mean, yeah, I'm at 6.
Okay. Yeah, I wish they would have been more to it. I know they kind of
Mm,
couldn't because they were all like all getting on a call together, and you're like, okay, I'm getting they're all friends, and then there's this one dude, um, uh, and then they get this random medium who's going to come on and lead them
yeah.
into a séance, and I was like, okay, what? I'm not. This doesn't make any sense. It
See,
was
this is
just
why I
like,
wish I would take it off. The more I thought
yeah,
about it, I was like, oh man,
but I liked it. It is probably, I mean, it's probably one of my favorites of 2020. But
yeah.
I mean, there hasn't been a lot of good horror movies that year. There wasn't a lot of good movies that year. Period. So
No, I think that's
um,
why I liked it. It's just because it was a
it was
movie.
like, oh, finally something a little refreshing.
Hmm.
give me give me something that was good. Yeah, and I agree with that. I was like, now that we thought about it, it was like, yeah, probably it probably shouldn't have been there as a top 5 favorite found
Yeah,
footage movie, but it's okay. We'll do it. I did like the scare factor though, so getting into it's a horror
yeah.
movie. I like the scare factor. I'm going to probably give that a 7.
So a 7. Yeah.
Um, I do think the jump scares were better. I thought the jump
Hmm.
scares were the best out of this movie. That's the best thing about this movie was just,
Yeah.
you know, things break and then the weird face and,
Hmm.
stuff like
I
that.
did like
So,
that when it
yeah.
turns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. All jump scares, sliding back in the chair against the wall and
Hmm.
shit like that. So yeah, I'm actually going to throw a 10 at the jumps. I thought the jumps were really good.
I'm gonna go an 8.
Okay. I'm just helping you, bro. Um the
I
the
have regrets
special
about
the
this movie.
special effects here, they were okay. They
Yeah.
were eh,
Yeah.
I
I'm
I'm
at
going
a
to go
6.
7. I'm going to go 7. For what they were working with, I thought they did a pretty good job. Um Now the POV stuff, because it was all done on Zoom,
Yeah.
I was kind of impressed with that.
Hmm.
But there was quite a bit of shake for them all being on their computers.
Yeah. Which I thought was kind of weird. If it's on a desk,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it does. I mean, if I go like this, I can kind of
you're
move my
not moving.
I'm
Yeah,
not
you're not
moving
moving.
anything, right? I have to really like do this bit to
Yeah.
to move my camera. Um so it was kind of weird like I mean, like,
Yeah.
your house is all shaking and stuff. So I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna throw a 7 at it.
Uh, you're still doing better than me.
And you're gonna go lower.
Yeah, I'm gonna go about 5.
Okay.
See, I regret this,
I'm tr-
guys. I regret
I'm
picking this
I'm
movie.
trying I'm trying to help you, bro. I'm trying
You
to
are,
help this score,
and I'm
bro.
trying to be honest. I gotta be
I'm
honest.
really am. I thought it was good and creepy though.
It
Uh,
was.
the creep factor was good. I'm
Mm.
actually gonna throw an 8 at the
I was
creep.
gonna go an 8 too.
Yeah. So I mean there were some really good things about this movie that I liked, and I liked this better than Unfriended. Probably both of them, but other movies of this style, it doesn't stack up.
Right. I'm really looking forward to talking about the other one. That's like this. If you guys can see this movie for free, watch it.
Oh heck yeah!
Don't pay for it.
Oh heck yeah! If you've got Shutter, go ahead and check it out.
Yeah.
But if you don't have Shutter, nah.
Mm.
I mean, I'd probably watch it again. But
I mean, oh
so
yeah,
so I'm not disappointed that I got it on DVD for under $10. That's
yeah.
not.
It's
I'm
worth
not.
the price you paid.
Yeah, it's worth the price I paid, but I wouldn't have bought the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been worth the Blu-ray.
Movie Hunter. Oh, don't pay for it.
Don't pay for it, or you will be. You'll pay for it in the end.
Yeah. I'm not advocating piracy at all. I mean, you can find it somewhere streaming. Like he said, if you have Shutter or borrow somebody's
Yeah.
DVD or
I just wanted to make sure I got the score right. That was pretty low, bro.
yeah, I know.
That was a pretty low score. Considering what I did for that movie, I was like, I still got a really low score. All right, let's go. Let's go to the next one. Um, and we'll do Mono Wine. Let's do Chronicle.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Man, I love this movie. And here's the thing. Um, talking about the cast on this one, I didn't recognize this cast until now because when I first saw that movie, I didn't know any of those kids.
I knew Michael B. Jordan from Friday Night Lights, but he wasn't blown up
I
yet.
mean, I never saw Friday Night Lights, so I'm
And I recognized the guy from. Well,
so.
no,
But
he was. It
now,
was.
but
Yeah,
but now I'm like, oh, Michael B. Jordan, Dane DeHaan, Alex Russell.
Michael
I know
Kelly.
all three of those kids, and so it's really interesting how I appreciated it back then more because I didn't recognize those kids.
Hmm.
Now that I do recognize them, and they've kind of most of them hit big. I mean, two of them have done some amazing movies, and then Alex Russell, he does the TV series SWAT
Hmm.
with what's his name,
David
Shamar
Young's.
Moore,
Oh, that's true.
uh,
Yeah,
Mr. Soul Train,
yeah.
because that's what I remember him from was Soul Train, and then he got on Criminal Minds.
I love him in
Uh,
Criminal Minds.
I loved him in Criminal Minds. I kind
Well,
of
that's
wish he
coming
was
back
still
too,
there.
man.
Yeah. It's just going to be Paramount Plus though, so that's going
Yeah.
to make me want to get that streaming service now. All right, so talking about the cast, I liked it better when I first watched it than I do now because I recognize the dudes.
Hmm.
Um, but because I'm going to go by when I first saw it, I'm going to give it an 8.
I'm gonna give it an 8 too. This movie's just so fun to watch.
It's oh god, it's so good. I watched it just recently because I literally came on TV somewhere and I was like, oh dude, I'm totally just going to keep watching this.
Yeah,
Um, I thought the acting was really good, and it makes
I did
sense
too.
that these guys are big now
Yeah.
because the acting was really good all across the board
Hmm.
with the whole cast.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
I'm at a
gosh,
9.
I think yeah, I think I was gonna be at an 8, but I think you're right. I like your number better because I really liked it. I mean, not since it's not my movie, but but I like your score better because I was like I won't give it a 10. But
Right.
I don't think it deserves an 8. I think it deserves a 9 because
Yeah.
for a found footage movie like this, it had a great acting. Everybody across the board. The dad, I think he was the only one I recognized. Was Dane DeHaan's dad, the one that abused him? He
Yeah.
was
He
the
was
only
in
one I
House of
recognized.
Cards.
Yeah, he was the only one I recognized when I first watched the movie.
Hmm.
Um, but I gotta tell you, the plot on this,
This is.
the
I
watching the
dig it.
trailer, I dug the trailer.
Hmm. I'm at a 9 on that
Yeah,
trailer.
me too. It's not the best of the trailers we saw,
Mm-mm.
but it's really good. And the oh God, I loved the ending
Me too.
for this.
Me
Not
too.
only not only the whole climax scene. I mean, come on, fighting around the Space Needle, that was awesome.
I'm gonna tell you right now that battle scene
Hmm.
is better than the last 3 Marvel movie battle scenes, in my
Yeah,
honest opinion.
yeah, that's better. Yeah, oh yeah, that's better than just about anything in this phase. Period.
Yeah.
And I would put it on par with something like God. I had one in my mind that was a really good fight, and I think it was Deadpool because I really liked the fight scenes in Deadpool, but I loved how this was filmed
I do
and
too.
how it looked and with them in the air and stuff. Oh,
Hmm.
Hancock.
Oh yeah,
That's what I was trying to think of.
yeah,
Um, that was like maybe even a little better than Hancock, but I
yeah.
love
I can
that
see that.
fight scene. It was very similar
Hmm.
into the ground and doing stuff,
And Man of Steel
um,
too.
or Man of Steel. Yeah, that's another perfect example with him and Zod going at it.
Yeah,
So but I really liked just the tail end after everything was done and dude flew to Tibet
yeah.
and with the camera and just
I
kind of
like that.
and it kind of ended right there and I thought that was really neat. So gosh,
I
I'm gonna
give it a
throw a 10
9
at the ending. I loved it. I'm okay with your 9, bro. That's fine.
because
I
I wanted just a little bit more, just a little bit more.
hmm, I think I got that closure that I wanted, especially with what happened after that epic fight. I got that little bit of closure because that was the one thing that they said that they wanted to do, and so I thought that was really cool. Um, this is probably my favorite story
I agree.
of of the 10 movies that we're going to talk
Hmm.
about. Um, I don't I don't think I'm going to give it a 10 though. I think I'm still going to
I'm
give
at
it
a
a
9.
9.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9. But it's close to perfect. I loved how the powers built. I
I did
loved
too.
how they kind of trained and how they did stuff, and then how you know because the
I
whole thing
love the
is
Lego thing too when they
yeah
were
the whole
building.
Lego thing, and you
Mhm.
saw where one person got really good at certain things and another person got good at another thing, and then but it was Dane DeHaan who developed faster because he was kind of the nerd
Mhm.
that was an introvert, nobody liked him, and things like that. So you saw that he developed his past powers faster and got stronger because he was
Yeah,
constantly, the other guys they had other stuff that they were doing with girls and student body president and things like that. He only had himself and hiding from his dad. So I dug that a lot. Now I do have this as a fantasy movie because they develop superpowers
hmm,
and then found footage. So with a fantasy movie, we talk about the imagination that was put forth in this. And although it was a real simple catalyst that started it,
hmm. What's
I
up,
thought it
Mr. Nichols?
I thought it was really cool. Nichols is in the house,
He just subbed you, man.
bro.
It's always nice to have Mr. Nichols in the house.
Yeah, it's totally cool. Um. Anyway, where were we? Imagination. So, what do you think
Yeah,
of the imagination that they did for this
I
movie?
dug it. I love that we really don't get a whole lot about the whatever it was, the meteor or whatever it was.
Yeah, whatever it was it a
Yeah,
meteor? Was it a spaceship?
yeah,
Was it just it? And then all of a sudden it was gone and they had it
yeah.
fenced off. I thought that was really cool.
I'm gonna go an 8 on this.
Solid.
Yeah, I am at an 8.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Um, and the next thing is the pace.
Oh,
What
the
do you think of
pace
the
was
pace of it? I thought
fantastic.
the pace was solid. It was
Yeah,
really
I'm
good
at a
pace.
9 on that.
Yeah. I think I'm at an 8 for the pace. So I'm going to go 8.5. And then the special effects. I
It was
am
great. That's a 10.
I that's a 10. I
Yeah,
loved how they filmed this. It was the gah. Like I said, if it wasn't for how great of a job that Eddie Pena and Jake Gyllenhaal did in End of Watch, this would be my number one
yeah, I can see that.
found footage movie.
I wouldn't argue with that either.
But yeah, End of Watch was just so good.
Yeah,
Movie Hunter and Nichols exchanging pleasantries. All right, so let's go to the point of view stuff. The way they did the
I
camera
loved
work.
it. I
I'm
loved it. That's a
gosh,
10.
I'm at a 10 for that too because not only did they had stuff where they were holding the camera, but they had stuff where they were using their powers.
I love
When
that.
Dane DeHaan would use his powers and move the camera,
Mm-hmm.
slowly around him and stuff. I thought that was really neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mr. Nichols and the watch is fucking awesome.
And to watch is so cool. And like I said, the only reason why we didn't do it here was because we did it as one of our favorite thrillers. Um, and rightfully so. That movie is awesome.
Yeah,
Okay, so the creep factor. I
I
think
don't think it's very. I think the
it.
dude's creepy.
I think Dane DeHaan gets creepy
Yeah,
when he kind of unravels,
yeah,
and right down to they show it in the trailer where he goes like this
yeah,
and wipes the front of the truck and it goes flying into the lake, and he's like,
yeah,
did you mean to do it? And he's just looking like, I'm not going to answer that question later.
yeah,
When he crushes the car, he's just sitting there, and the car behind him just crushes, and I was just like,
yeah.
dude, that dude is off his meds. Um,
He's the
so
only creepy thing in the
he was the
movie.
only creepy thing. He got creepier and creepier as it went
Mm-hmm.
along. There were some things with their powers as they were developing it that people thought were creepy inside the movie, and I thought that was an interesting element. Like when they moved the car and the old lady
Oh, that
come out
lady.
of the grocery store and she's all
Yeah,
creeped out. I thought that was kind of cool. Overall, though, I I think I'm gonna go 7 for the
I was
creep
gonna say
factor.
7.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's one of the least creepy movies. It's also um, one of the only non-horror found footage movies that we're doing
yeah,
here.
yeah. If you guys haven't seen Chronicle, again, definitely buy this one because it's worth having in the.
Hmm.
Yeah, Nightcrawler's good.
Nightcrawler's really good. We
we did.
we had that in our thrillers, didn't we?
Yeah, we had enough. Because remember
Yeah,
I was on the Jake
another Jake
Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal movie. Yeah, because we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about how you were all Jake Gyllenhaal and out.
Yeah, I like
Um,
Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my
Jake
favorite actors.
Gyllenhaal's good. I mean, yeah, you're a big fan of Jason Bateman and his comedies, and
Mm-hmm.
then Jake Gyllenhaal and his thrillers. You're like totally on board with those. So, me too. I love him.
And I totally
Uh,
forgot Jason Bateman was in Dodgeball. I totally forgot.
as just a goober
Mm-hmm.
color and commentator, but he's funny
Yeah,
as hell. Um, all right, so let's do another one. All right, Paranormal
I love
Activity.
this movie. I love this whole franchise.
Yeah,
It
I'm a
gets me
fan.
through
I
Monster.
Yeah, I enjoy these movies a lot too.
And yes, I
And
did pre-order that box set.
I
I
know
had
you
to.
did.
I had to.
So, did you get a chance to watch the alternate ending?
I think no, I did not because I didn't rewatch it because I just seen it not too long ago.
Okay.
Um,
If you
I
get a
remember you telling me
chance,
about it.
watch the alternate ending, cuz I mean it totally ruins the chance for sequels, but the alternate ending is amazing. And I was like, dude, the alternate ending is so much better.
So, do you think the studio made them change it just because they wanted to turn it into a franchise?
I would bet on it. Yeah.
That was a good call.
I think so too, because look how many movies it's done, look how much
Yeah,
money it's made. Um, shoot. I mean, but yeah, this is another one. It was like what
$5
forty
to make.
thousand $40,000 to make and made 150 million
Yeah,
in the box office. Not to mention what it bought in physical media.
yeah.
Um, okay, so let's talk about the cast again. Don't really recognize the cast a whole lot.
You can't recognize the cast, but this movie doesn't work, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
yeah.
You
You
cannot
if
have anybody known.
exactly.
And for that, I'm a 10. Because you can't have a single person in this. There's one, like, I'm going to go to Paranormal Activity 2. I
Hmm.
recognize her sister.
I recognize the sister. Yeah,
Because she was on Jericho, I think. That's where I recognized her from. And just for a little bit, it took me out of it. I was like, oh, okay. But as the movie went on, I forgot about Jericho.
hmm,
And yeah,
yeah. I'm gonna go 10-2 for the cast. What about the acting?
it is fantastic. I am going to I'm going to give this a 9
Okay.
for me.
Okay. I'm gonna go 8. I thought it was solid.
Yeah, we are, Jerry. We try to be nice, all of us. You, Jerry, Mr. Nichols, Ryan. Usually we have Dell in here. Dell's a great guy.
Yeah. Dell. Yeah. Dell's awesome. D Ray.
Yeah,
Yeah. Alex and Nate. Love all the dudes.
yeah,
It's a it's it's an awesome community, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
yeah. Me too, man.
All right. So let's talk about the trailer and
I
the
love this
plot score.
trailer.
I dug the trailer.
Yeah,
It
it's not a
was
10
no.
for me. It's a 9.
Yeah.
You wrinkled your nose.
I wrinkled my nose because I was like, I'm kind of at an 8, but I see your 9. I understand it, but I'm still at an 8.
The reason I give it a 9 is because they showed the dude get thrown into the camera. Shouldn't
Yeah.
have put that in there. I didn't like that part.
Well, yeah, and I
No.
think that's what dropped me to an 8 was because they really spoiled the ending.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could have done so many different things
Yeah.
from that camera angle because they had so many different scenes that why would they pick that scene? Yeah, it was surprising, but it kind of blew it for me a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so let's talk about the ending.
I like the ending
I like the
because
ending.
we got. I mean, of course, we don't know it when we see it the first time, but it opened the door for
Hmm.
the sequels. And dude, I'm at a 9 for this ending.
Okay, yeah, I am. I'm at a 9 too. Um, but if we're talking the alternate ending, that's a 10.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Um,
gonna check it out.
yeah, check it out. Just pop it in and watch the alternate ending, and you'll see exactly what I mean.
Okay.
It creeped the shit out of me. I was dude, I would have been like totally awesome, but that was when I didn't know a sequel was coming. But
Okay.
when I knew that Paranormal Activity 2 was coming out, I'm like, okay, there's no way that they could have used that ending. But Paranormal Activity 2, I went to oh, see, now you're speaking my language, bro, because
Yeah,
the Record series, that is one of my favorite franchises of all time.
I have
Um,
not seen him.
he hasn't seen him, and I couldn't get it to where he could see him
Yeah,
because they're Spanish, they're foreign, so they're not on any streaming service that we could find. But yeah,
and
I've
I'm
got
generic Mexican. I don't speak Spanish.
and I do speak Spanish, but it's I it basically boils down to two sentences. I remember I took 4 years of Spanish in high school, um, but I can understand Spanish if someone speaks it to me slowly. Uh, but the Record series, oh my goodness,
I see
so good.
quarantine.
Um,
I like
See,
quarantine.
and that's the thing. The first Quarantine
Yeah,
is exactly the same as the first Record,
I remember you telling me that.
but the sequels are totally different. So, Quarantine 2, nothing to do with the Record franchise at all. But if you've watched Quarantine, then you get an idea of what Record's about, because it's pretty much the same thing. But I still think
Didn't you just
Record
get
is
that box
scarier.
set?
Yeah, I just got the Scream Factory box set maybe 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, I thought so.
Dude, I still haven't gone through them, but I will. I own them all on DVD, and I've seen them all, but I want to go through the Blu-rays and see how those look because I'm excited.
Yeah,
But yeah, that would have made my list, but we got
yeah,
to
because
pick
we couldn't find
movies
them
that,
anywhere, right?
yeah, we couldn't find them anywhere. We got to pick movies that we both can watch.
Yeah, I
Okay,
just picked some
so
good movies I haven't seen, and I'm thankful for that.
I'm glad, and I'm glad you were able to get to see them. And of course, I saw everything that you picked, but that's just because I have a really big found footage library,
Hmm.
so I have all that stuff, and yeah, there isn't like I said, I had everything that you picked.
And
Um,
not just tonight either. I mean, the movies that you recommended off the show or you put in the countdown. Um, yeah,
oh yeah, me too,
except
bro.
Princess Bride. You
Except
know.
Princess Bride, and me except Love and Basketball. That was the only one I couldn't. I just couldn't. It's just I will get
I
through
love
it
playing
eventually, but
basketball.
I couldn't. It wasn't.
Dude,
It's
I
not my thing.
understand.
Hangman's decent. I enjoyed Hangman. I've got that.
I've never seen it.
Um, I like Mr. Nichols bringing up the POV stuff. Love it. Um, okay, I got one for you, Mr.
Yeah, you
Nichols.
should have.
Troll Hunter.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like Troll Hunter.
You should have been on the stream.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. It's a good box set. But oh man, I love Troll Hunter. That almost made my list too. I was like
yeah,
right
I
there,
would have
but
had
that
it
was
in there.
another one I was afraid that you hadn't seen
No,
and
I've
we'd
seen
have
that one.
trouble with. That's good. I should have done that then.
It was on Netflix at one point.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I've had the DVD forever. Ooh, he brings up, he brings up that one.
See, I love Willow Creek, Mister. I love Bigfoot. A sucker for Bigfoot stuff. I just told him earlier.
Yeah,
My top three Bigfoot
we've
movies:
talked about we've talked about
Boggy
Willow Creek.
Creek exists and Willow Creek.
I did like Boggy Creek, but Willow Creek I didn't like it. Um,
Yeah, I like
Anyway,
it.
okay, back to Paranormal Activity. Let's go to the story.
I dig the story. I'm at a
I dug
nine.
the story. I liked how it kind of played out, and I like that you don't really understand what's going on,
Yeah,
right?
you think you think
You
you kind
think
of
you get
understand.
it, and then it pulls a. That's the only scene I like.
I agree, Mister Nichols.
Nichols is the tent scene, and oh,
And the
I just
gurgling. I
I just
love the
had a
gurgling at the end.
I just had a massive dad joke. The tent scene that camping scene was exciting because it was intense. Um, but so anyway, story wise, I think I'm at an 8. I dug it.
I was
I
at a
liked it.
nine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Scare factor. I thought the scare factor was good
Yeah.
because it was like it was like a frog in a pot. It started with cold water and then it started
Hmm.
getting warmer and warmer and you don't know that you're boiling by the time it gets to the end and all hell breaks loose. So I dug that. So I'm a solid 8 for the scares.
I'm at a nine.
I am at a 9 for the jumps
Oh, dude,
because no, I'm
yeah.
at a 10. I'm at a 10 for
I'm
the
at a
jumps.
10.
I'm at a 10 for the jumps. I take that back because
The Six Capes is fucking awesome.
Poughkeepsie tapes great. We
Yeah.
were talking about that too. Um, and I was mentioned visit. I didn't care for the diapers. Other
That's the
than
one they go
that,
visit the grandma, right?
yeah,
M. Night
the
Shyamalan.
the so the so-called grandparents
Yeah.
that were not grandparents.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the diapers in the shed that was like I and that freaked me out. That was creepy. Um, but oh man, we could do this. We could talk about found footage movies all the time. But yeah, 10 for the jumps. I mean, just look at the trailer alone. There's a whole bunch of jump scares in there.
Hmm.
Um, Special effects,
Dude,
solid,
um,
really
I'm
solid.
at an 8 um, because I
I
love it
think
when
an
the
eight,
board catches on fire.
mhm,
Um,
eight's
the
good, especially considering the budget. They didn't have
Yeah,
much of a budget for this, but they did such a great job with it.
yeah.
Um,
I don't like the powder on the floor. Oldest trick in the book, but they did it
yeah,
effectively.
yeah. Oh,
Dude, that's awesome.
that
I want to see Megan is Missing. I have not seen that yet.
That is a seriously fucked up movie.
Is it really?
Yes, that is a seriously messed up movie,
Well, I like
and
it.
I I think it's gonna be like The Exorcist for you, bro.
Really.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think you would watch it once, and I don't think you'd watch it again.
Hmm.
Creep is great.
I don't
Um,
think I've seen Creep.
Duplass is amazing in that. I have Lake Mungo too,
I haven't seen that
dude. You're calling all these movies. I got them.
either.
Keep them coming. I got them. I got them all. I liked Creep. Yeah, it's Mark Duplass. I think his name is. He was
Was that on
he was good.
Netflix?
I think it was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but I think it was on Netflix at one point. Home movie. That's another good one.
I haven't seen that one.
Um, but yeah, Megan, Megan is
Tom and Tammy
missing.
tape.
Which one?
Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee tape. That's found footage.
I guess it's kind of
It's
scary.
got a monster in it.
It's
Come
kind of
on.
scary. um, it's not, it's not on my shelf though. that's that's one I don't have. I'm not gonna tell you I haven't seen it, but I don't I don't have it. It's not something I would watch again. Um,
uh,
but yeah, Megan is missing. I've got on my shelf and I've only watched it once. So
I've never seen that one either, Mr. Nichols.
Cannibal Holocaust is that's another tough one to watch.
I
I
can't
mean,
do people eating people.
people are like, "Oh, Green Inferno is no, dude.
I have never
Green
seen Green
Green
Inferno.
Inferno Green Inferno is good, but Cannibal Holocaust buries it. That's like shooting a bullet and throwing it. Um, but okay, so let's talk about the POV action in here. I thought that was really
Hey,
cool.
keep that one in mind,
Eh,
Jerry.
what? Watch out, Jerry. That one may come up. Um, so,
You should
um,
POV,
yeah,
right?
the POV, the camera work.
I'm at a
I thought the
10.
camera work was pretty good. I'm gonna give it a 9, but I thought it was good.
I'm at a 10. Yeah. I think the camera work on 2 was a little bit better.
Yes, I liked 3. I know it was a prequel and it was done with the VHS camcorders, but I think 3 is my favorite as far as the POV shots.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Because I loved how they put the camera on an oscillating fan
Yeah,
and
I
just
love
had it do
that.
this,
Yeah.
and then you come back and all the kitchen furniture and plates and shit are gone,
Mm-hmm.
and then they pan over and pan back and everything. Oh, jeez, I love that.
Yeah.
That was so cool. 3 is my favorite from the franchise. If we were gonna do it, and you were gonna pick the first one, and I almost picked the third one
Mm-hmm.
as my pick, but I'm like, no, let's just do one from the franchise because we can talk about the whole franchise that way. The creep factor in here is really good.
Yes.
I'm, I'm at a 10 because
I
I
would agree.
I was creeped out. I was
Because it
like,
makes the hair on the back of your neck stand
it's
up.
like, is that demonic? It
Mm-hmm.
because at first you're like, oh, it could be a ghost, it could be this, and then you're like, dude, full on demonic, something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the footprints in the
Oh,
flower that were not human, so good.
hey, Jerry, you going to get that box set? I know you like box sets of Paranormal Activity. I had mine pre-ordered. I had to. It was $60. It's not too bad. And the boy's not bad.
The Bay is good.
Oh, I think it's the boy. Oh yeah.
It's the Bay. I
Is that
I
the one? I
enjoyed
read it
that.
wrong. I'm sorry.
That one was interesting. That was supposed to be a documentary. That was going
Oh,
to
it
be a
was.
real documentary, yeah. But nobody was going to pay for it. No studio bought it. Nobody was going to pay money for it. So they had all this footage of the actual Chesapeake Bay, and then they just turned it into a horror movie. And then people bought into it
Is it the thing where they little like
with the
micro?
bugs, with the little
Yeah.
bugs and the stuff like that. Yeah,
Mm.
they were talking about that in the Chesapeake Bay, and they were doing just a regular documentary on it. But yeah, but like I said, no film company or anything was gonna buy it or pay them for it, so they just added horror elements and turned it into a horror movie, and then it was awesome. I loved how they did that.
That's the movie.
The Bay is good. All right, that's a good score, bro. And since Jerry mentioned it, let's do that one next.
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll do Grave Encounters.
This was the first time watch for me. I enjoyed
Yes,
it for the most part.
good.
There were some things that bothered me, and we'll get to that.
Okay, we'll get into that. First, let's get into the cast. Again, this is one where
The cast, I'm at a 9. No,
yeah,
wait, I didn't recognize anybody. I'm at a 10.
I had him at 10 for the cast
Yeah,
because
I
yeah, I
didn't
didn't
recognize
recognize
anybody.
anybody, and I think that was my
Yeah,
favorite thing.
yeah.
Because it's just like trying to do a paranormal show. Bye, I love you. I'll just give you kisses. Okay. She's just kind of um. Okay, acting.
This is what bothered me.
Oh yeah, no, this is this. I I liked it in the fact that it made it seem like they were real people and they weren't actors.
Yeah,
Um, on the
but it
other
was
side of the coin,
clear they were
it
trouble
was
actors.
clear that they weren't actors.
Yeah,
Um, s- yeah, I'm gonna go 5.
me too.
This is not the reason why I watched the movie. This is not
No,
this is not what I'm not looking for acting when I'm looking at a found footage movie. Um, I did like the trailer though.
I did too. The trailer's great.
The trailer hooked me
Mm-hmm.
right off the bat with the stuff that was going on. So yeah, I'm gonna give that a 9.
Me too. I'm at a 9.
And I dug the ending. The ending was
Yeah,
so
I liked it.
um I it just devastating. It was just like, oh crap.
Right?
So yeah, I'm gonna throw a 9 at the ending too
Me
because
too.
I really like that. The story here is it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not.
mean, it's a trope. I mean,
Yeah, it's paranormal investigation team
mhm.
goes into an asylum, you
Yeah.
know, and they
Seen it
don't
a
get out.
hundred times.
Soon it's done. Yeah, it's been done. It's tried, but there was one little surprise element that I really liked in here, and it's going to go toward the scare for me. So for the story, I'm going to
I'm at a 7.
yeah, I think that's a good one. My wife grabbed the remote. um okay, so the scare factor,
I'm at a
I'm
9.
I'm I'm at a 10.
I'm at
I'm
a 9.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's fine. Um my thing one of the main things that bugged me about found footage movies in like a haunted house or an asylum or something like that is that they could get out.
Right.
And I'm like, why don't you guys just fucking leave? Right?
Right. But they
I
couldn't.
understand you're all white people and you're stupid because that's a general thing, but get out. Go
Yeah.
back in the daytime. Um, but the thing about this one is
They
they
couldn't.
couldn't get out. Once you were in it, you know, the door that you thought led out just leads right back into the asylum. And I thought that was the coolest thing. It was like you were going mad
Yeah.
being in the asylum. And I really like that element.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm at a 10 for the scares.
I'm at a 9.
Yeah, there's some good jumps in here too.
Oh, there
Um,
is.
yeah, you get the chick in the corner, and then the
Oh, that was creepy.
bathtub,
The bathtub
and
scene was like,
the
oh
bathtub
damn.
was like, oh, so creepy. And then you
Yeah.
got the wheelchair. There's
Hey,
Dell.
speaking of Dell,
We were just talking about
thanks
you,
for
bro.
joining, man.
We were like, where's Dell? Um, so yeah,
I even
jump
liked it when the
scares.
dude got pushed down the stairs. I like that.
Yeah,
That's the one acting job that I bought was him. When he was pushed on the stairs, he's like, "What the f?" You
yeah,
know.
yeah. That makes sense. So for jumps, I'm gonna go 8.
Me too.
For special effects,
I dug. They had some good special effects.
it was pretty decent.
Uh,
I'm wondering what the
I think
budget was on that.
I'm gonna go. I was gonna say 9. I'll stick with the 9 because I dug.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 9 as well.
Yeah. How dare you, Dell? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He's cheating on us.
Two timer. But I'm gonna check the replay on that because I like Bob. He's a good guy. Another good person in the community. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, I wanted to check that budget. So they didn't have to pay the actors too much money.
Maybe
Hundred
they got
thousand,
refunded.
100,000
Really?
estimated budget, and
Wow.
it grossed 4 million.
Hey, that's a good return.
Yeah,
There's like 2 or 3 of them, isn't there?
there's two. There's a
Okay.
there's a second one. I have the second one also, and I really like the second one because the second one goes off of the film in the first one, thinking that it was real, and there's a group that goes back to the asylum to try to find them or figure out what happened to them. And one of them is the brother of the main guy. Um, and I'm just going to say the main guy is in the second one. The main
Oh,
guy
is
from
he?
this one is in the second one. He's still alive. So
Nuh-uh.
yeah, because
Really?
if you're well, I don't want to spoil the ending, but he doesn't actually get killed in the end.
I just assumed.
Yeah, no, he just um, got a little tickle to his brain. Um, but anyway, I thought I think that's really neat. So I like the point of view stuff, the filming
I
of
do too.
this. Again, it's all done with the like night vision cameras and shit like that. Um, so I think I'm gonna throw an 8 at it.
Me too. The thing I
And
liked, they kind of do a little explaining too
mhm,
when the tech guy is sitting there. I forget who he's talking to. When they're asking, it was the host, wasn't it? Where he
mhm,
was telling them, "Hey, this is what this does.
yeah,
So if we hear this,
we are hear
yeah,
this or yeah, it's
yeah, I dug
explaining
that.
what the devices do
Hmm.
and stuff like that, where the
I like
cameras
that.
are, and
Hmm.
yeah, I like that too. And you get that like in a regular paranormal show to where they're like, here's
Yeah,
this and that, and
that's a
here's
nice
where
touch.
cameras. I thought that was kind of cool. It made it like an
Yeah,
actual paranormal show. The creep factor for me, I'm at a 10. It
I
was
agree.
it was
I'd say too.
creepy as hell.
I'm glad you recommended it because I would have never sought it out.
That's good. I mean, yeah, in retrospect, I was like, why didn't? Because the one I wanted to pick was Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon, and that's a slasher movie filmed in documentary form. Um, it's basically, and I do want you to see it at some point because it's phenomenal, and it's Leslie Vernon. So basically, it's takes place in a universe where Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees are all real. They're like real serial killers doing their thing. And this guy, Leslie Vernon, decides he wants to become like them. So he does all the cliche things of becoming a serial killer, an actual like dyed in the wool slasher film dude, villain. And that means like, one of the things like he has to do a lot of cardio so it looks like he's walking, but really he's moving really fast and he's not out of breath. The cliches like making a back door shut really fast.
You're kidding.
And
Is it a
no, I'm
comedy?
serious. It starts out like that. It's absolutely because it's filmed in documentary style, and this guy, the guy who plays Leslie Vernon, looks like Spencer from iCarly. It's not the same
Really?
guy, but looks like him, and he's kind of dorky, um, and he's talking about stuff, and he's got a mentor who is I don't know if have you watched Walking Dead
Yeah.
from the beginning? Okay,
Yeah.
so he's Herschel, the
Okay.
guy who plays Herschel in Walking Dead. He's the mentor, and he's kind of helping Leslie get to this status, and it basically gets to where he's going to pick his final girl. That's going to be the
Okay.
one that he kills last. They go. These kids go into the house, and the whole time this documentary film crew is with him, um, filming this whole process. And it starts out really goofy comedy, like a Tucker and Dale type of thing where he's kind of silly,
Mm-hmm.
but he does some creepy stuff. And the film crew's like, okay, whoa, that was kind of weird. But then he's kind of goofy again. And then by the end of the movie, it's a full on slasher movie, no holds barred. It gets super nasty. It's awesome. It's a full on awesome slasher movie at the end. But the best part is the end credits.
Really?
Yeah, because he's supposedly. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it, but I
Don't
want to
spoil it.
spoil it.
I'm gonna look.
I don't want to spoil it. Watch it.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
But
I'm gonna go to that app. Hold on. What's it called again?
it's called Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
Of course. Okay. Be, hold on. I'm sorry. Behind. Oh shit. The mask of.
Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. It's on Prime Video. It's on Prime for $3.99.
Oh shit. Yeah. I'm gonna have to. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna definitely have to. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna have to check that out. You sold me. Sold me on that.
I absolutely love that movie.
Yeah.
So much, and there's a group in Facebook called Horror Junkies that I'm an admin of, and each person in the Horror Junkies has to name themselves after a horror movie villain, and my name in that group is Leslie Vernon.
Oh, that's awesome.
So whenever I write something, I have to sign it Leslie Vernon, which is kind of funny.
Blackfish. Which one is that? The whale movie about the SeaWorld? Am I just way off on that? Is that
Huh.
about the?
Documentary following the controversial captivity of killer whales and
Yeah,
its
I did.
dangers
I've
for
seen
both
that.
humans and
That is
whales.
actually a good movie. That is a very good movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's definitely worth checking out.
It's free on Prime, so yeah, I might check that out.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna check that out. Like, dude, it's good. It's heartbreaking too, man.
I don't. I guess it would be found footage, but I would call it a documentary. But that's fine. Lots of good stuff about the Leslie Vernon flick. Need to watch it too. Please do. I would love it if you guys watched it and let me know what you thought of it. Um,
It is though. It's
yeah, I was to say because um, Megan
it.
is missing. It was mentioned, and that's hard. That's a difficult watch for me. Um,
What's the premise of Megan is Missing?
girl named Megan gets kidnapped, and the the person who kidnapped her is doing stuff to her and filming it.
Oh fuck. Yeah. Huh.
And I'm just gonna say she's like, I don't know, she's like 12 or 14, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
um, that's it's uh it's so difficult to watch. It's heart wrenching, and at the same time, it makes you so angry and so bitter at how people are. It just
Yeah.
it's but as far as found footage horror, it does exactly what it says it's gonna do. It disturbs the heck out of you, and it'll make you sick to your stomach. It it was that bad. It was that hard to get through.
Hmm.
Um, all right. So okay, cool. Did that. Doing the next one. So we got four more left. Two for you, two for me. It's your turn. Let's do VHS.
I dug this. This is a recommend watch from you.
Hmm.
I heard people talk about it, but I never really heard people explain it. They just say, "Hey, you got to see VHS." But when you explained it, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna check this out."
Hmm.
I really liked it. I really
Yeah,
did.
I went back and watched it today because it'd been a while for me. And it's 10 years old. Came out 2012, and oh man, it's still
It's really good.
it's really good. It absolutely makes no sense, but oh man, I really liked it. I loved going back and watching it again because there was stuff that I forgot about, and I was like, oh yeah, so it was good. Um, so it does not say what the budget was on it, but it only made 1.9 million worldwide
It had
in
to
the
make
box
more than
office.
that on once it hit video.
It had to make more than a video for them
Yeah.
to do this many in the franchise. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think it blew up when it went on physical media. Um, okay, I think cast them out of 10 because
Yeah, me
again,
too.
there's so many things going on. Um, and yeah, I agree. Like the first story in VHS makes sense, or the whole underlying thing. But yeah, after that, it's like, okay, what the heck? I did like two. So if you get a chance, Rich, I think you'll like two. Two was
I plan
interesting.
on seeing it.
I think three was the worst out of the group. Um, but I actually gave the last one, VHS 94. I gave it the lowest score out of the group. So I think I liked 94 better than Viral, which was the third movie. So yeah, 10 for the cast.
Yeah.
The acting, not so much.
No, I'm
I think I'm
I'm
gonna
at
go.
about a six.
I'm gonna six. Yeah, I agree with that. This was probably my favorite trailer.
Yeah, the trailer's great.
The trailer was cool. I'm at a 10 for the
Yeah, me too.
trailer. This was like, oh man, I am on board. They gave me a little bit about everything
Yeah.
without spoiling anything, and I thought that was cool.
He meant the first story.
The first story of the first movie. Never watched the sequels. Right. I'm with you. We're on the same page. Okay. The ending of this. This is, I don't know. This is because it actually end. It just kind of the tape's over. So that
Yeah.
was um but you get the whole thing is they breaking into this guy's place to steal this tape, and they have to find the tape. Um
And he's dead.
and supposedly.
Yeah.
But while they're finding the tape, they're putting in these other tapes and watching all this crap. So there's crazy shit going on through this entire movie. And then, all of a sudden the dead guy in the chair is no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
And then shit starts happening to the people in the house. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm following along. So it kind of it just kind of I don't know, it just kind of ended. So I'm
I'm gonna
God,
have
I'm gonna throw a
7 on
7 at
that.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
yeah. I don't know what to make of it, but it did kind of tie together like an anthology would.
Yeah.
So
So
I
out of all
enjoyed
the
that.
stories on the
Hmm.
first one, what was your favorite one?
It was the one in the haunted house where the guys were going to the Halloween party
Hmm.
in the house. That was my favorite part.
I think the
I, I
creepiest one
did I did like the girl and um
in the
what
hotel
was it?
room.
Well, there was a couple in the hotel room, but the one that was not human.
The other one I like better because
You
it
like
kept.
you like the one with the person sneaking in their room
Hmm.
at night and filming them and stuff. I thought that
Yeah,
was cool too. I like how
I
that
thought
ended. I thought that was like, oh,
me
cool, all
too.
right.
Yeah,
I thought that was neat, but um, it was
that was my
the the
favorite one.
the monster chick. It was like how the girl looked in Splice.
Hmm. You're right. That's a good. Yeah.
Um, I liked that because she was kind of off and she was like, I like you, and
Hmm.
then. Blah.
Oh, and I
There was
like the one that had the distortion. Um,
Oh, I loved that. And
yeah,
gosh, that was one that I had forgotten about until
yeah.
I rewatched it today. And I was like, that would be a great movie on its own.
Hmm. Yeah. That
Because
too
I loved
reminded.
how the effects on that with the
Hmm.
butcher knife through the eye and I dug that. I dug the heck out of that.
Yeah,
Um, okay, so speaking of which, let's talk about the story. The story, it, it's really kind of all over the place.
yeah,
You got the basic story, which is simple, and then all the other tapes just kind of mash the whole thing up.
yeah.
But there's 5 stories that make up this entire film, all centered around this one small premise. So
I'm
I'm gonna
gonna
go
have
6
to.
for the story.
I'm gonna go 8 because I just enjoyed it. I really
I
did.
enjoyed it, but it wasn't the story that I enjoyed. Um, I thought it was good and scary. It
Hmm.
was there were some really cool
Yeah,
points. I think I'm gonna go 8 for the scares.
yeah. I'll be happy with an 8. Let me ask you a question about the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a Bigfoot story in any of these?
No, not that I remember.
What about
Makes
alien
makes me want to go
abductions?
through them. Alien. There is. I'm sure. I can't. I don't know which one, but there's an alien abduction one. I think it's either in 2 or 3. It makes me want to go back through it, but I seem to remember some kind of alien thing.
So those are my two. I love those tropes of
Mm,
Bigfoot and alien.
yeah, and I know in '94 there's that like half robot dude. That was kind of weird. Um, 3 fires in one show, Jerry. Thanks, bro. Um, okay, where are we at? Jump scares. Jump scares in VHS.
There's a couple.
There's a couple of really good in the stories,
Yeah.
like the splice chick.
Hmm.
There's some really good jumps there.
The haunted house.
Haunted house, there's some great jumps. The
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 viral
the
phone call
glitch dude. I thought that was kind of cool.
when she's calling her friends. I forget which one. When she's in her house, she says she hear when that little girl runs by in the background.
Oh, the one with the thing in the arm and that was weird. There was
Hmm.
some there were some good jumps in there, but that story was weird.
I'm gonna go with 9 on this
I
for me.
think so too. I'm kind of
Yeah.
down for that.
Yeah.
There were so many different kinds of jumps
Yeah.
that you've got a really good variety, and I enjoyed that a lot. Special effects.
They had some pretty for the budget you just read.
Hmm.
Um, I'm gonna go an 8.
Yeah, I'm on an 8 too. I think it's
Yeah.
good. Mm. Um, okay, so the POV or the camera work here. This is not my favorite.
No, I'm gonna go 6 on this.
Yeah, I agree with that. I
Yeah.
I like the element, but it wasn't the quality wasn't good. It was
No.
just um but it was supposed to be like a VHS thing.
Right.
So there was a lot of tracking issues and
See,
there
that
were
didn't
things like
bother
that.
me.
That didn't bother me. I think that came
No.
with the territory. I was good with that. But like certain things the way that they filmed it, like you couldn't see very well at all. Like the thing in the house with the hand with the arms and stuff.
Yeah.
There were some bits there where I was like, okay, what are they looking at? I don't understand why
Yeah.
the camera's here and not over here. So yeah, six. I think is a good one, but I think it was creepy as hell.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm at a 9 for the creep factor.
I think the best for me, the creepiest one was the real world one, and I'm gonna go with 9
Okay.
because that one sells it for me because that could actually happen. You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
anybody. Yeah. When she just pops the knife, and then when you see who like what does this person want? What does this person do? And she's accusing him. What's she accuse him of doing? Taking her money, was it? Or was he accusing her of taking her money?
He accused her of taking his
Yeah,
money because he
yeah,
had $100 and it was the
mm,
you know the person who broke into the room took the.
yeah. Uh,
But
that's my favorite one, I think.
I like that. But yeah, there's a definite realism there that was pretty
Mm.
cool.
And that one's what
Um,
creeped me out the most.
yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of creep, did you see their redoing Strangers, a reboot?
No, I didn't hear
Yeah, they
about that.
started filming it. Um, I just seen it on Deadline. It was Deadline, I think.
Hmm.
Deadline or Variety. I read that today.
Okay.
I
I'm
really
not.
dug that for Strangers.
You know what? I've got to step away for just a second.
Okay,
Um,
I'll jabber my mouth.
yeah, just
I'll keep talking.
talk amongst yourself, and we'll be back and we'll
I'm good
do
talking to
another movie.
myself.
I'll be back in a minute.
All right. So, Jerry, what's your favorite all-time favorite scary movie? Don't say Halloween, because that's mine. It's lame, I know. Yeah. See, I'm not good at talking to myself. I'm not good at talking to myself when I'm talking by myself, but not when I'm on camera. See, we finished found footage this week, and then next week we're doing sports movies. He picked some good ones. I picked some good ones, and then I think the following week we're going to be doing 80s movies. I love 80s movies. Um, One of my favorite 80s movie. I know it sounds lame, but Patrick Dempsey's Can't Buy Me Love. I don't know what it is. I loved that movie when I was a kid, and I still like it today. I haven't seen it in probably like 20 years, maybe longer than 20 years. Maybe I'm holding it up, like holding it up higher than it's actually as good. Same with Mannequin. I loved Mannequin when I was a kid. I used to wanted to hope a female mannequin would come to life and make out with me, but shit, that never happened. Um, yeah, there's a lot of good 80s. The Legend of the Lone Ranger is another good 80s movie I loved when I was a kid. Beastmaster. Also, thank God he's back. I'm rambling. Everything okay? Oh, you don't got headphones on yet. Everything okay?
Yeah,
All right.
everything's okay. There was some barking going on outside, and my dog was barking
Bigfoot.
at something. It was either that or a bear. I'm pretty sure it was a bear.
Oof. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, we get bears.
Yeah, I love
Beastmaster.
Beastmaster too. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
I
I
was
got
talking
that
80s
vinegar.
movies.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna be talking. We got to talk to you about that after the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we got three movies left. We're right at the 2 hour mark. So
We're doing pretty good.
we're doing pretty good. All right. So let's go with Cloverfield.
Love this movie.
Yeah. This is oh man. I just watched this today. It's like
How's the 4K look?
oh 4K looks good. I wasn't impressed with the sound. It's 5.1 DTS, but so I didn't get all my speakers. I just get the sound bar. But the picture, the all the the shake from the camera, that's gone, and it was really clear.
Really?
So yeah, I actually enjoyed that a lot. It wasn't too dark. There was some great stuff. This is another one when I looked at the cast where I'm like, I didn't really recognize the cast when I first saw
I
this
only
movie.
recognize one.
I recognize a couple, two or three by face, but I recognize T.J. Miller
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about him. Yeah.
because I was like, oh shit, T.J. Miller. Um,
Leslie
and
Kaplan, I
then
think.
and yeah, Lizzie Kaplan is the other one from Now You See Me Too.
See, I recognize it from a TV show. I think it was called Yearbook or something.
Oh,
Or
okay,
something like that. I recognize it from a TV show.
yeah, yeah. Oh man, the
I
4K
need
is
to get it
good.
too, though.
Man, I'm so glad I got that. It was it was worth a watch today. It's yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. Still got pretty good sound out of it, but yeah, like I said, it all comes out of the sound bar.
How was the
Um,
rumble in it?
it was good. I didn't get my subwoofer, so but I still felt the rumble. It didn't shake my floor because my subwoofer's on the floor. But so yeah, I like the movie. I didn't love the sound, but I love the picture. I think picture quality was really good. That was a lot of fun watching that. So um, yeah, so this is from 2008.
We didn't. Did we do a? We didn't do a score for um cast.
No, we haven't done the score for cast for this one.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna say an 8 for the cast.
I think I'm down for that because I didn't recognize these guys beforehand. But like, you know, Jessica Lucas I knew by face, but not by name. And then one of the brothers, I can't remember which one I recognized. Odette Anable. I
I
don't know
like
if
10
I
Cloverfield Lane too, though. I really like that.
10 Cloverfield Lane was good. I wish it was more. I don't want to say more alien, but
Me too.
I kind of I wanted it to resemble the that first monster better.
It
And
didn't,
I
it didn't
like
even tie in, did it?
no,
I
it
thought it was.
didn't tie in. There were just the aliens at the end, and they didn't even look like the
Yeah, I thought it
you
was a
know
separate universe or something.
yeah. But it was I don't know. And then Cloverfield Paradox I like too. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that one, but yeah, it didn't seem like. But I loved the just the John Goodman
He's
and Mary
fantastic in
Elizabeth
it.
Winstead, just great acting in
Mm-hmm.
that confined space. It was really neat. Um,
I think I
so
need to
yeah,
watch it again. Thanks, Dell.
I know. Just tack another one on your list. Number
Mm-hmm.
400 of the year will be
I'm at
10.
367.
I was gonna say I'm pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I watched three today. I was pretty happy about that. Um, okay, acting. I thought the acting was good.
Yeah, I'm at a 9.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm happy with that one.
again because I recognize these guys now. It makes sense. Just like with Chronicle,
Mm-hmm.
the acting is really good. So these guys have done some different stuff. Um, so yeah, Dell says same universe, but entirely different perspective. Um, right. This is another 10. This plot, this
Yeah,
trailer,
it's 10. This is the best trailer.
absolutely killed it
Hmm.
for me.
Like
This
this is
and
the best
VHS
trailer
were
of the
my
year.
favorite. Yeah, this was
Yeah.
this was the best trailer, but VHS was my favorite
Hmm.
trailer. Um, but and this is where I loved in this trailer, you don't see the monster.
Yes. Thank goodness, because I would have been pissed if they
I'd
went
have
with the
been like,
monster
if I'd
trailer.
have known, because when I first saw that, I was like, is this a found footage Godzilla movie? Because that would be
Yeah.
awesome. I would be so down for that.
I think
I
that was
didn't
one of the
know.
speculations when it first came out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know what the heck was going on. I just saw the Statue of Liberty's head go flying down the street, and I'm
Hmm.
like, I am on board with
Yeah.
whatever did that.
Yeah.
I was really excited. Um, what do you think of the ending here?
I dug it. For me, it had to end this way.
Yeah,
and and I like how the tape rewinds or gets cut, and you see the beginning, and you see spoiler who everybody's seen Cloverfield. See that
yeah,
little falling into the water. I dug that.
yeah,
I'm at a 10.
yeah. No, I'm at a 10 too. I liked it. You know, where they're like saying their name and stuff, and the bombs
Mm-hmm.
going off around them, and um, the helicopter crash was really cool.
That's cool.
I enjoyed that. Um,
Hey,
okay,
on that disc, is it Dolby Vision or is it HDR10?
I
Just
believe
out of
it's HDR.
curiosity.
I believe it's HDR10.
There's a glare on there. I can't read it. I'm old. I'm gonna be 45 on Friday, so my eyes don't work.
Oh, please. It just says features HDR for brighter, deeper, more lifelike colors.
That's an older disc too, so
Hmm.
it might have been produced before HDR10.
Yeah, it just says It just says HDR.
Yeah,
It doesn't say that it's 10, but it's HDR. It's not Dolby Vision.
I was just curious.
Anyway, um, it was so much fun. I would like to get the 3D of that,
It's in
and
3D.
I think there's a 3D version of that.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I think there is. Um, if I can find it and I can get it, I would play that on my projector outside once I get my deck done. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
Um, all right, where are we? Oh, story. I really like
this
the
is 10.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
I
10 for
really
me.
like the story how this played out.
Mm-hmm.
Right down to the little critters that fall off the
Oh,
monster.
that was a nice little detail.
Right? It was so cool. It
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, there's something falling off, and they're like, oh shit, there's like little parasites that like, and
uh,
I love the element of that because they
and what
weren't
they
just
did to
running
that
from this
girl,
big
they did
monster. They were
something
these
to you.
little, yeah.
Yeah,
They affected you in a different way. They were just as bad
yeah,
as the big monster
yeah.
because and these were just probably bugs that just fell off the thing
Like little fleas.
like little fleas that were
Mm-hmm.
like that big.
Yeah, this is
it
a
was
great
it was
movie.
it was really cool. Scare factor.
It wasn't scary.
There
Um,
were there were scary elements, and I'm just gonna say the subway scene
oh
where they
yes,
were
when they
going
went in
through
the
the
dark.
tunnel. That
Yeah,
when and they were like, oh, the night vision, and you see the little critters, and it's like, all right, run, we got to run, and
yeah.
there were some scary stuff, and then the helicopter crash and things like that. So I'm down. I think I'm at a
I'm at a
7.
7.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm at a 7.
7. Um, jump scares.
Mm, I think I want to be a 6 on that.
Okay,
So
I think I'm
I
at a
didn't see
seven.
it.
I'm at a seven on that as well. It's mainly like you know, right? The little ones were far. I think they were absolutely scarier than the big
Hmm.
one because there was a shitload of them.
Yeah, and you can see the big one coming.
You could see the big one. Big one's on the other side of Manhattan. Okay, we're good there.
Yeah,
And but then we got these little critters and then there's like 50 of them coming at you.
yeah,
You're like, shit. And then plus, if heck, God forbid, you get bit by one of those things.
yeah. I wish they would have went into more detail what happened, but I knew they couldn't because it would just slowed the
It,
movie down. But I
well,
like that you
well,
saw something
that
happen.
and it was PG-13.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I think if they'd have made it rated R, they would. I think you explode. I think you because they showed someone that was bit and it looked like their insides were like on their outside. And then of course, when Lizzie Kaplan starts bleeding from the eyes, and they just take her into the back really quick, and all of a sudden just all over the
Oh
thing,
yeah, that's right. See, I
right?
forgot about that.
So that's where you get
Ah,
that hint. I was like, okay, I think unless they just blasted her in the head, which is possible, because of seeing the other guy that was wheeled off on a gurney, and he's like just completely blown apart, and then seeing what happened to her, I get the feeling that the bite causes you to explode,
okay.
like
Yeah.
a
See, I totally forgot about that.
um.
Yeah.
So, and then speaking of that, special effects. What do we think of that? I think
I'm at a
fucking.
9 on this.
I'm at a 10. I absolutely loved it. The monster, the little monsters, the stuff they did to the city,
The
and
monsters.
the little monsters, the the buildings the building that was like
Oh,
this,
you know what? I'll take that back. You're right. I forgot about that. That's a 10. It's a straight up 10.
and then
Yeah.
and then they were in the building like trying to
Yeah,
get
when they're
to.
walking. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. My bad. I'm going to change my answer to a 10.
cool. Talked you into it. Um, I love the camera work here too.
Yes. And this is
Um,
where I can see people, though, who they say they don't like found footage because all the running and
all the
the,
running and the
yeah,
well, and
the
the this
camera
is
dropping.
yeah, this is the one where I told you I went to see this in the theater, and they had a sign on the door saying that you have 30
Hmm.
minutes from the start of the movie to get your refund. You otherwise you can't get a refund. If you quit at halfway in the movie, then it's too late.
Like I said, I seen this in
I,
theater too, and ours didn't do that.
yeah,
No.
yeah. Well, this was like it was like they typed it out and they printed it and put it on the door. So many people have like requested refunds and stuff that they're like, screw that, don't give them a refund if they've watched half the movie. No, yeah, something crazy like over 90% of
See,
the
I didn't
city
know
was
that.
CGI. Even scenes when they were walking down the street were special effects. Yeah,
See, I didn't know that.
they did a lot of this green screen and stuff.
It was a
It's
J.J. Abrams movie, so I believe it
yeah,
now. But at the
yeah, it
time,
makes
I
sense
was
with
like,
it being J.J. Abrams. Because yeah,
for
you could.
camera work, I'm at a 9
Okay,
because that
yeah,
doesn't
I'm down
bother
for
me.
that. And uh, creep factor, how creepy was it? I think the little critters were creepy.
And they were creepy, but not enough to make me feel creepy. You know what I mean?
No, I think what creeped me out was when Lizzie Kaplan got bit, and then
Yeah.
she started bleeding. And the whole thing that creeped me out when she exploded, and I was like, okay, that was creepy.
I'm gonna go with 7 on
I
this.
yeah, I think
You're
I'm gonna
hesitant.
go. I think I'm gonna go 6. I don't. I'm not seeing a 7. I think I'm gonna go 6. I know it's
What's
my
creepy
movie.
for me, like you said, it wasn't the bug bite. It was the the darkness of that tunnel.
Yeah.
When they're walking in
That
the
makes sense. Okay, no,
yeah.
I'm back at a 7. I get that. Yeah,
I
the
get
whole
that.
thing, the whole thing in the subway tunnel. Yeah, that makes
Hmm.
sense because yeah, I was like, you can't see shit, but all the
Hmm.
rats. I was like, I just
Yeah.
remembered the rats that were going through, and they're
Hmm.
like, okay, they're running from something, and
Yep.
I'm like, And when you see like thousands of rats going in one direction, that's the direction you want to go. Because whatever's chasing them out, you want to leave.
Yeah. This is just a fun movie all the way around to watch. Put it in, crank the volume, and go.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so you got one left. I've got one left. Let's go with your last movie, and that is Searching.
Love this movie.
So good.
This movie, we both have daughters,
Hmm.
so this movie hits home. It's a scary thought. Not knowing if somebody took your kids or got
Yeah,
pushed. You
and
know.
and then when all of a sudden your daughter disappears and you find out that you never really knew her, all this stuff starts
Hmm.
coming to the surface, and you're like, holy crap, she's been hiding all this shit from me.
Yeah.
And this is a 2018 movie,
Yeah.
so it's only what, 4 years old.
Yeah.
And
It's a good movie.
it's really good. This is one where I turned around and watched the special features afterwards. They show how it was filmed and stuff. It was so good.
If you guys haven't seen Searching, definitely watch it. It's good.
Hmm. So as far as the cast goes, because of course
You
you
got John
got
Cho,
John Cho, Deborah
Deborah
Messing.
Messing. That's the only two I recognized.
I think that's the only ones I recognize too.
The only
I,
person that took me out of it was Deborah Messing, because I don't think she's a good actress. She's a hard buy for me sometimes.
that makes sense. She's a TV actress.
Yeah.
Um,
From a time when TV acting wasn't the greatest. Because
yeah,
TV acting now is pretty
TV
good.
acting is TV acting now is pretty solid. You got to be pretty
Yeah.
good. But back when Will and Grace first came out, you're like, okay, you can half-ass it, sure.
Mm-hmm. For cat, I'm gonna go an 8 on this too.
Okay, I'm gonna go
Because
7 on the cast because John Cho and Deborah Messing kind of took it away from me.
see, I agree with you,
Hmm.
but there's a point in the movie where he gets angry, like when he calls her friend out with the study group,
Hmm.
and he gets angry with her, like, "Why didn't you pay attention?" I forgot that was John Cho. Is a dad searching for his daughter, and he's angry. Why can't he find her?
Makes sense. I see that.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, but I was like, it's John Cho. If it was, I think I would have liked it if John Cho played himself and his real daughter was missing. That would have made it better for me because it was actually him instead of
I
him
see what you're
playing
saying.
another
Yeah,
character. But I'm watching this found footage movie that's done all on Skype or Apple or whatever. I think it's done on
FaceTime.
Skype or
Yeah,
FaceTime.
FaceTime. Yeah, FaceTime.
Yeah. Um, I know it's Unfriended that's done all on Skype.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think the acting in here is
It's 10.
really good. Deborah Messing brings it down.
I'm keeping her out because
So,
John Cho carried this movie on his back. He
oh,
took
he
this
did.
movie
I'm
and
gonna go
just
9. Yeah, he took it. He took it like a
mm-hmm.
backpack or that parachute in Star Trek, and
There you go.
and he landed on that mining thing like a champ.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna go 9 because I still
I'm
because Deborah.
overlooking. I'm taking my Deborah
Yeah,
Messing out of it.
Unfriended. Boo. Yeah, I didn't
See, I
care
like
for Unfriended.
Unfriended, the first one.
Yeah, I didn't. I liked the second one better, but yeah, I didn't. I didn't care for the first one. I was a little disappointed. It was okay, but I was disappointed. I had higher expectations than I think I should have. Um,
What was the budget on this? It's interesting to know.
Good question. Budget 880,000,
Really?
and it
I would
grossed
have guessed more.
75 million.
Oh, that's a good return.
Yeah,
They are working on a sequel. That's a good return on
yeah,
an $800,000 movie.
yeah. I wonder if they're going to do a sequel. Yeah. The only thing, like I said, with the acting, Deborah Messing's character is so engrossed in the whole storyline that um that's why the acting drops for me, because she kind of killed a couple scenes. But anyway, let's talk about the trailer.
Oh, I love the trailer.
I thought the trailer was solid.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna
it's
go
not a
9.
9 or a 10.
Maybe, yeah, maybe an 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that trailer got me. Would want me to get me to watch it
It
because
was
it
it
made
was
it.
the trailer that got me to watch. I was like,
Mm,
"Oh, hey, you know." But yeah, it definitely definitely made me look up my daughter's internet traffic. What have you been doing? Have you been saving money? Have you been taking your piano lessons? Oh wait, you're not taking piano lessons. Let me go on. Okay, let's look at your keystroke activity because I'm a techie guy, and and I'm like, okay, she's not doing anything. I I expect to have secrets kept from me from my kids.
hmm
My kids will not tell me everything
I
because
agree.
I'm judgy and I want to resolve things because
Me too.
I'm your father. That's what I want to do.
That's what
I
we're
want to
supposed to
fix
do.
it. You're going through a problem. I want to help you fix it.
Hmm
So
That's our job.
I understand that there are times that you keep things from me because you don't want me to judge you. You don't want me to try to help you solve it, and I get that. So you know, to my
Especially
kids,
having
I
daughters.
understand. Yeah, I have one.
Yeah, I have three.
I have one daughter, and I have a son who probably should have been my first daughter, but because he's very metro, and but he's also married and gave me my grandson. So, um, but he's like me. I'm not one to like repair things unless it's a VCR or
Me too, man.
Blu-ray player or TV. Computers, I can fix all that. I cook dinner. I'm the nurse in the house. When the kids were little, I was the nurse. I was the one that
Me
cleaned up
too.
the vomit. I was the one that did the shots. I was the one,
Hmm
when my daughter had her appendix rupture, and I had to administer the antibiotics to help her get better. So, and I was the one that did that. I came home from work, did that. So,
It is
uh,
dumb, man.
it's very delicate because
Yo, I have three: a 21-year-old, a 17-year-old, and an 11-year-old, and they're
a- and then
get
there's
them all
Miles.
together. Yeah,
Yeah, now I have 30, 29, and 26. Those are my kids.
no one have a 3-year-old too. I forgot about him. My bad.
Yeah, that's what I
But
said.
it's no
And then
sweat.
there's
Yeah,
Miles.
yeah. And I just did dawn on me. You said it.
Yeah.
He just turned 3.
Okay. What did you think of the ending for Searching?
I dug it. I really did.
I was so pissed off
Yeah,
when I saw this ending.
really.
I liked it, but it made me mad in a couple different ways.
Oh, explain.
Um, well, I don't want to spoil the ending. Um, well, and I guess this goes back to Deborah Messing's character because she was so ingrained in the whole plot and the ending that she did such a bad job acting that I was like, "God," but I was mad that, well, let's just say the truth was hidden from
Mm-hmm.
the dad,
Mm-hmm.
and he could have found her a lot sooner. had somebody not someone had gotten their head out of their ass and actually did their job.
Right.
So
But there
that's
was
what
a
made me mad.
reason.
I'm I'm glad. Well, yeah, there was a reason. I get it. Doesn't mean I'm happy about it.
Right. I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
So that's why I'm angry. It's a good ending. I'm glad it ended that way. I was expecting it not to. I was
Me too.
expecting it to add worse than that. So
Mhm.
I'm glad it ended the way it did. That being said, I'm going to give the ending an 8.
I'm gonna go 9. I
It's really hard to talk about the ending and not
Yeah,
spoil the
because you don't
ending.
want to spoil it. Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it. I want everybody to see it. If they get a
Yeah.
chance to see it, I want them to see it because it's definitely worth a watch. Um,
Definitely buy this one. Don't see it for free. I mean, if you see it for free, see it for free. But
yeah,
if you
see it
want
for
to look
free,
in your collection,
but I think it's yeah, I think it's worth a buy. It's worth watching more than once. Um, so me,
no. Yeah, it's a good movie.
I just God, I don't.
I have a problem with it. I don't think she's very good.
I she has the personality of wet pasta. I'm sorry. She just and cold wet pasta. It doesn't even stick to the
Yeah,
wall anymore. You just and it just hits the ground and that's it. And you just get pasta that you can't eat. That's that's Deborah Messing. She didn't do a bad job. It just made there could have been so many other people that could have filled that spot
yeah,
that I didn't even recognize that would have done that a better job.
yeah. I agree.
I still thought it was an excellent movie, but
Hmm.
there were parts where Deborah Messing kind of brought it down a little bit.
And
Um,
the person we did talk about was his daughter. She came across as just somebody that was depressed, um,
yeah,
and she did
but
a good job.
she puts up a false front for dad,
Hmm.
and then but then she starts getting the real story. He starts getting the real story as the movie goes along, and you're like, oh my god, and
And you see it. You see it in her
yeah,
face, and
yeah,
uh,
and then he sees it because it was something that I never knew that my daughter's not depressed. She didn't deal with all this stuff,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden it hits him like a ton of bricks, and
yeah,
I never knew my daughter. I don't.
yeah.
She kept all this from me. Um, so talking about the story, I'm I think I'm gonna put another 8 on it because I think the story's solid.
I'm gonna go a little higher, 9.
Okay. Okay. I have this as a thriller, not a horror movie.
Yeah, it's not a horror movie. I don't think.
It's not a horror movie. So
Whew.
so let's talk about the intensity.
They, he gets intense. Uh,
He gets intense right off the bat. Where the
hmm.
shit? What the fuck going on?
Hmm.
And so the intensity starts out pretty high and
Hmm.
then kind of drops
Then he goes
and
back up.
and then it goes back up. So it's a little roller coaster effect. So I'm going to give the intensity a 7.
I'm gonna go 8.
Okay. There's your train.
Yeah, right on. It's a little late tonight.
It's a little late tonight. I was going to say, yeah, it's about 6 minutes late. Um okay, pace of the film.
I don't have
I
a total issue with it.
I don't have many there's a couple of draggy spots. I think for the most part the pace is pretty good.
I'm about an 8 on the pace.
I think yeah, I'm going to go another 7. So can look at other movies that I gave 8s to for and I was like those were a little bit faster. So like, you know, and the suspense. I thought the suspense was
Yeah,
awesome. Um, am I at a 10 for the suspense? I'm not sure.
I'm not. I'm at a
I'm gonna
9.
go 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what they do with the sequel. I don't even know John Cho's not in it.
No, I think it's gonna be a different cast, right?
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
so.
that would make sense. Um, Okay, what do we got now? Okay, so the point of view, the camera work. It's
I mean,
it's all
it's
done FaceTime.
yeah. This I think this is gonna hurt it. I'm gonna go a 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a 6 too because it reminds me a lot of Host.
Yeah.
You know what? No, I'm gonna give it a 7. I thought it was a little better than Host, and we gave Host a 6.
Oh, did we? I thought we
Yes.
give it a 5.
No, we gave it a 6.
Okay, then I'm gonna change mine to 7 too. I even like the news footage.
Yeah,
Um, they threw that when they threw it in there.
we even gave VHS a 6.
Oh,
so
okay, see that? Yeah.
so it was a little better than that. Um, it and I think the creep factor is gonna hurt it a little bit. It wasn't creepy.
Mm-mm.
I think the I think the I feel that the dad got creeped out because he was finding so much shit about his daughter that he didn't know.
Yeah.
So
And then he thought his brother
I'm
was
feeling
involved.
that. And then the whole thing when you get the twist and you figure out what happened, that gave me a little creepy vibe.
Hmm.
Um so
I'm gonna go a 7 on
I
this.
think yeah, I think I'm good with the 7. I think a seven's good.
I went backwards.
Hmm, I think that's exactly the score I gave it. All right, we got one more movie left. Oh, does that mean we got a tie? Damn it, we still got a tie.
Dude,
Yep, bummer. But no, they're between your two movies, so you'll have to decide which one you want. Anyway, we got one more left. Let's get it going. Last one is Sinister,
hmm,
and it's I picked this movie. Well, number one because I love it, but number two, it's not a traditional found footage movie. It's a horror movie with found footage in it.
yeah,
So I wanted to
and probably
actually
the
talk.
best found footage in it
Yeah,
in a while in a
yeah,
movie.
in a movie.
Hmm.
Um, I thought it was really cool. I really
Yeah.
liked it. So for cast, interesting because you get Ethan Hawke, and I'm like, dude, that's Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
But it
The,
didn't
the,
take it away from me. And
Ethan Hawke's the one I have the problem with. Um,
is it because of his acting or because of him being so well known?
acting, acting. To me,
Right,
at
because
points I
you
felt like
you
he was
said you
phoning it
liked
in,
him in Black Phone better, and I agree.
and
I
I
thought he
love
was
him
way
in Training Day. Um,
yeah.
to me, just to me, it didn't seem like this was his best performance.
Yeah. But yeah, just so yeah. Thanks, Dell. That's exactly why I wanted to
Hmm.
explain my choice here. Um, because the movie itself is not really found footage, but yeah, the element inside, the main element of the movie is the found footage within. So
And that found footage in the movie is fantastic,
yeah, oh,
and it's creepy as hell.
it's creepy as hell. And like I said, I was talking about Vacancy. They do that too.
Hmm.
That was the creepiest part in Vacancy, were the videotapes that they found and they were playing in the hotel room while they were stuck. And I thought that was a really cool element. So I didn't want to do that. Let me get. But yeah, in he was so good in Black Phone. I liked him in Magnificent Seven. I like Ethan Hawke. I'm a fan.
Oh, I do too.
I don't
I just
necessarily
didn't
look
think
for
his
him to be an
performance
Oscar
was
winner, but
in this.
you also yeah you get I recognize Fred Thompson, who is the sheriff.
Yeah, I
I
recognized
did
him.
I didn't know his name. There's also Vincent D'Onofrio is in this movie.
Yeah.
Um, and Chester the Chihuahua, who is apparently famous. um, Uh, but so there was, 4, 5, 6. So I'm at a 6 if we
Yeah,
go by that.
I think I'm
But
at 6 too.
I think I'm gonna stick at the 6 because the found footage didn't have any people that I recognized, so the footage
Mm.
within was great. Didn't
That makes
recognize
it
any of the
better.
people. That makes it a lot better.
Yeah.
Um, I I think I would have been happier if it wasn't Ethan Hawke. If it was somebody not quite as well known.
If the if the
If
with the his performance in that movie to me, it
mhm,
would have been better off without Ethan Hawke
mm,
because it wasn't to me an Ethan Hawke performance.
okay, so somebody coughing.
Yeah, my son. Yeah,
Yeah.
his bedroom door is open.
Okay. So so let's get to the acting. I didn't think Ethan Hawke was that bad.
I mean,
Um,
I don't
but
want to say it was bad. It was
well, it,
just.
it 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 did take away from the movie for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I didn't think it was bad. I thought I thought the kids here were great.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
Not and
Yeah,
his two kids plus all the kids in the found footage movies.
yeah.
I thought all the kids were phenomenal. Um,
For acting,
so
I'm gonna go a 7.
I think I'm gonna go an 8
Ah,
because I really like that. I really like the kids in this movie, and I'm generally not a fan of kid actors.
me neither.
But I was happy with all of them. There wasn't
Mm-hmm.
anything that really kind of turned me off. Um, okay, so what did you think of the trailer?
Trailer's great.
Solid. I
Yeah,
I was I think I'm gonna go an 8
yeah.
for the trailer.
I'll be happy with an 8.
Yeah, and for ending, I'm at a 10. I loved how
Yeah,
this ended.
I'm
Uh,
not quite a 10. I'm gonna go a 9.
okay, but yeah, I dug the heck out of this ending, and I like the story too.
Me too.
Really happy with the story. I think I'm at an 8 for the story.
Man, I want to give it a 9. I think I am because
Okay,
I dig it. I really do.
I dig it too. Just a couple of there's a couple little spots that I question, and
Yeah,
but it wasn't very significant for me. But it wasn't enough to where I can't give it a 9 or a 10. But I still thought the story was solid. Um, God, I think the scare factor here are so good,
yeah.
particularly with the found footage elements.
To me, it's a 10.
I'm I think I'm at a 9. I'm gonna go
I gave it a
9,
10 just because, in
but I'm
addition to
giving
going to the creep factor,
yeah.
is
Well, there's
that
there's a
found
creep
footage.
factor is a separate thing, but I'm going a 9 because I'm going with a 10 for the jump scares.
Oh, okay. I see your thinking there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just them people hanging in the tree,
Yeah.
the people
Well, in
burning in the
the
car.
whole like when
Um,
you the monster dude, Mr. Boogie or whatever it was,
mm-hmm.
how it's like on the screen and he goes like this
When he turns.
and then he turns back and you're like, "Ha!" and
See,
he
that doesn't even scare me. The visual of these people dying scares me.
yeah. Well, because it looks
So
authentic.
real.
The found
Yeah.
footage movie looks authentic because it's
Yeah.
you know like you know taping them up and put them in the car and then set the car on fire. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I was like, and I thought the way they did the ending with the additional footage
Yeah.
that really like amped up the creep factor for me.
Yeah.
Really good. But yeah, I'm at a 10 for the jump. I didn't get your score for the jumps.
I didn't say it. I'm thinking. I'm gonna go 9.
Okay. Special effects.
I thought it was great.
I
To
yeah.
able to get that found footage to look that way
Hmm.
That's pretty fucking cool. And you have the tree saw thing. I'm at 10.
Yeah,
I'm at 10.
yeah. I'm at a 10 too because not only the found footage is like so many years apart, going back to like the
Mm-hmm.
60s,
Yeah.
and you can tell by
Yes.
the way they were dressed, the way the camera was looked, and then as it it was like 60s and then 79 and then 83 and like that. So it was like every 10 years there was another killing, and the camera work was different.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really neat.
I love that part.
Yeah. So let's talk about the found footage, the point of view stuff that was in there
I'm
as
at
is an
10.
absolute 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. And the creep factor, I'm
I'm
also
at
at
a
a
10.
10.
Yeah.
I mean,
That. Yeah. And who's filming the family? That's, you know what I mean? When you're like,
well,
man.
you get that at the end.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like when he's
But
writing it
you
down, when he's
yeah,
taking
when he's
notes.
yeah, we where's Stephanie?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, you're getting okay, so and then you're getting these pieces like
Mm-hmm.
the family's killed, but one of the children are missing, and they
Mm-hmm.
think the children's been abducted. And then you start getting more and more truth. And then you get that major epiphany from Vincent D'Onofrio at the end, and you're like, "Oh snap!"
Yeah.
And then there, yeah, I'm a total fan. I love this movie.
See, I like it when he's trying when he finds them. He's putting the movies on the reel, and he just the notes he's taking. That just creeps me out. I don't know why it did.
Yeah. Well, then when he was printing out pictures and stuff, and he was putting it on the wall
Mm-hmm.
and tying it together like a murder board, and
Yeah.
it was interesting.
So I forgot when I rewatched it that he was a book writer. I forgot all about that. And they come, and that dude comes and warns him, "Don't be starting any shit. Basically, don't you don't want we don't want you here."
Yeah. Yeah, because they don't like him. Man.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was an interesting thing,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't really like the police either apparently. Um, yeah, and especially since his favorite person was Deputy So and So because he didn't really take the time to learn his name.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all right, so I got a tie also. Boy, I don't know, but I think yeah, I'm gonna give it to that one because that's just the way to do it. All right, so you have a choice between searching and VHS because they tied.
Searching.
Searching. I kind of figured. I'm kind of surprised by these scores. We started out, I was like, okay, it's right on the money, and then I was like, whoa, whoa, that was interesting, and I think our change in doing the cast made it really interesting. So
Yeah,
I
because
really
not
like
knowing
that.
the cast makes it so much better.
Yeah. All right. So 2, 3. Um, that's got to be 4 and 5. Oops. Hmm. 6. And then
This is a quiet time.
It's our
Okay,
quiet time.
confession
This is where math happens.
time. I guess I should have been talking. I'm sorry. I was spacing out. I
You
was
can
thinking
you
about
can
what movie I'm
you
gonna
can but
watch
and I
tonight.
can and I can answer you. I'm just not looking, so I can't.
No, I was spacing out. I forgot we were still live.
Yeah, we are
Sorry, guys.
still live, my brother.
Um, yeah. So next week we're doing sports movies, which I'm excited for.
Yeah,
Fishy picked some good ones. I picked some good ones. Well, I picked four good ones. He didn't like one of them.
I didn't like one of them, so yeah, I'm sorry, bro.
No, I'll just give you a hard time. It's
I
your
didn't,
Princess
I
Bride.
just, I didn't get, I only got about 10, 15 minutes into it, and I'm like, I just don't feel like going back and finishing
Dude,
it
I don't
yet.
blame you. I don't blame you one
Um,
bit. And then we're doing 80s movies the following week, right?
I wanted to talk to you about that because we're getting close to end of month
Oh
at
yeah.
that point. So do we do end of month on the 27th, or do we do? And I think that 80s movies, I think that's the one where we battle.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm interested in doing that because we'll both pick 10. So I like the your initial picks because we only have one in common, and we'll just change to an alternate or something. But I think we do that one where we battle.
You mean my initial the
Your
list I saved sent you,
Yeah,
or the one after
the
after that?
initial list you sent me,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. We can do
the
that.
one where we only had one movie in common.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Let's do that. That'd be fun. Sorry, guys. Inside baseball. Uh, yeah. So, do you want to save that for? Um,
but if you want to do that on the 27th, and then do you want to do a separate episode for our end of month? That's
we
what I
should do a
wanted to ask you about.
separate episode for end of the month. Um,
I mean, if the end of the
or
month
we could do
falls
the
on a
we could do
Tuesday, then
this.
we then
We
we
should.
then we make that our end of month. But
Yeah. Hmm. I don't know.
as
Let's
I'm
talk
wondering,
about that later. Yeah.
yeah,
So
we'll talk about that after we go off the air.
yeah.
We'll
Sorry,
chat.
guys. Again, I forgot we're
We're
live.
just we're just figuring out. Yeah, we're figuring out what we're doing. It's fine.
Interesting to see how these fall.
Is that right?
See, I'm glad Dave's good at math because I suck.
Okay, so
I'm hoping to see Barbarian this weekend for my birthday. We'll hopefully go see
nice.
that
Oh
Sunday.
yeah, happy birthday coming up.
Yeah, thank you, man. I'll be 45 on Friday.
Yeah, I've got to wait till next May, but then I hit 53. So
53 years young.
53, yeah, no, it's old. It's not young.
I feel old, dude.
Oh man, I think every kid adds 5 years onto how you
Especially when
feel.
you have daughters, man.
Yeah, I had more problems with my sons than I did my daughter. My daughter was, I kind of understood my daughter right off the bat. It was just it was really, yeah. My number two son David, he was the one that I had trouble because he was really, um his learning curve was different. The way he understood things, he was definitely more creative, singing and band and all that stuff, and I couldn't follow along with that. So I took him to American Idol auditions
Oh,
for season
awesome.
10, in San Francisco. And that was a lot of fun.
That's cool. Yeah, my 17-year-old, she's
That's
just too
right.
much like me. And I
See,
think that's why we butt heads sometimes.
that's the thing. I think David's a lot like me, personality wise, but just the way his brain works was completely different. So teaching my first and my third, they learn the way I learn, but David was completely different. So it was interesting for me to try to teach him in a different way. I had to learn a different way so that I can show him.
That's cool.
Um, all right, that's interesting. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. And in 10th place, no surprise, was host
Yeah,
with a 74.
that's not too bad.
That's not bad. It's
Yeah.
definitely it's the only thing under 80. So
Oh,
in ninth place, VHS with an 80. In eighth place, also with an 80, is Searching. That was a little bit of a surprise.
yeah, me too.
In seventh place, Exists with an 83. Let's see, where am I? Sixth place, Grave Encounters with an 85. Fifth place, Cloverfield with an 87.
Oh, I figured that'd be higher.
I thought that would be higher too. In fourth place, Chronicle with an 88. Third place, Sinister with an 89. That one's on time.
Yeah, we did.
Um, Second place, also with an 89. This is the one I picked as the better movie, was The Fourth Kind
Oh yeah,
as a number two. And the number one movie with a 91, Paranormal Activity.
yeah, yeah.
I didn't
Well, that's a
expect
good list.
Paranormal Activity. It's a good list. I didn't expect Paranormal Activity to win. I really
No, me
didn't.
neither.
I really thought it was going to be Cloverfield.
Me too.
Cloverfield,
That's why I was surprised.
Cloverfield or Chronicle. I
Yeah,
thought it
me
would
too.
be between one of those two.
Because I
Um,
enjoyed rewatching Chronicle.
oh,
I
me
really
too.
did.
I enjoyed that a lot. But yeah,
Yeah,
we Paranormal Activity checks all the boxes for found footage. It
it
just
does.
does.
Yeah, I think that's why it
So
clicks so well with people.
yeah,
Uh,
and then the people that don't like found footage hate these movies because
you're right.
that's the
You're absolutely right.
that's the thing.
Yeah,
All
it was a
right, good show,
good
man.
list. Good fun.
Good list.
Good
So
movies.
points wise, I get 35 points. You got 20.
Oof.
So for the type of movies or the genre, I come out on top. But you had the number one movie.
Nice. You coming on top? I think the last three or four. I think.
I think I think so. I think the last three for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to remember the. I think you won thrillers, or we were really close with thrillers.
It's something like that.
I know. I've got all of it. It's all in this one notebook, so we can actually go back through it and talk about it. Which
So October.
I was kind of thinking about doing that for like a some kind of like
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
end of year thing. I know I want to do the lowdown award show. And
That'd be fun.
that's gonna be probably in January, and already confirmed we're gonna have Nate and Alex
Oh, both of them.
on the panel. Yeah, we got both of them. So Nate and Alex from Geeks and Flicks are going to be joining us on in January, probably mid to late January. I'll figure it out.
Awesome.
Where we're going to give out awards, and I think what we're going to do is each of us is going to nominate one movie in each category, and then hopefully we'll have a bunch of people on. I want
Yeah.
I want you and hopefully Alex or whatever to stream it on their YouTube as well. So we'll figure out putting
Yeah, we gotta
all of
figure out how to do
our
that.
yeah. I know
Yeah.
how to do that. So whenever you're ready, bro, we'll do that. But
Okay.
I want
Yeah.
to excuse me. I want to work that out with you.
Hmm.
Maybe we'll try that next week with sports movies
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah.
and get it on your channel as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to set it up to where you're adding your link, and when you go on, you'll just have a prompt to add your YouTube page or whatever,
Okay.
and
Yeah, we'll
then
do that.
you can just do that, and then we'll get you on there. It's when
Yeah.
you first go on with the link, you'll have the option to do that, and I'll do that next week if you want to try it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's plan on doing that next week.
Sweet, let's do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to do that with Alex. I don't think Nate has his own YouTube channel.
I don't think he does.
So, but
At
I
least
think
he
if we
used.
can, yeah, I know I think he just uses the Instagram and then he goes
Uh,
on it goes on Alex's.
uh,
But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I think if we're on all three of our YouTubes, then we'll get a lot more viewers and we can get
yeah,
some votes in. And
yeah,
I think that'll be really cool.
it would be fun.
I think that'll be really cool because I want the the people in the chat to be able to vote for their pick
Hmm. Are you gonna
for
do a
each
poll?
category. If I do a poll, it'll only be on my YouTube. Is the
Oh,
only thing.
okay, okay,
So I would do a poll, but ever all you would have to do a poll on your YouTube, and Alex would have to do a poll on his.
okay.
So we'd
Yeah,
have
that'd
to
be pretty
all
cool.
like set up the polls at the same time, or we
Okay,
just go by the chat. You just vote for which one you want.
okay. Yeah, that's easier.
I think that'd be easier, and then I'll just do the
Yeah,
math and we'll count it and
yeah.
see who wins, and then each of us gets to kind of vote too, but we can't vote for the one we nominated.
Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah. That'll be fun.
I think that'll be interesting.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm still working out the details on that, but I think it's going to be a blast. So yeah, next Monday we'll be live on Instagram
Hmm.
at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central. I don't know yet what our topic's going to be. I think. Do you want to do the opposite day thing that I was talking about? It was kind of like overrated, underrated, but we kind of strayed off that topic yesterday.
We did.
So,
We did.
so
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, let's think about see if we can come up with something else. Otherwise, we'll do opposite day and we'll talk about movies that we hate that other people like and that we love and other people hate. I think that would be interesting.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Um, and then next Tuesday we're going to do sports movies,
Hmm.
6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central. That's going to be a blast. I can't wait to talk sports movies,
Yeah.
and we'll score those. I think you'll probably win that round, but we'll we'll see. But I do have a couple of baseball movies in there, so
Yeah, you do. You pick good ones though.
I
Your
think
your
so.
sports list is good. Pick
Thanks,
some
bro.
good ones.
I mean,
Um,
yeah, I wanted to put Ford v Ferrari back in there, but that was like one of our top dramas, and then the replacements was a top comedy, so I had to pull those back out because we don't want to duplicate
all
those.
right, I understand that.
All right. Well, my friend, I think we're going to sign off. I want to thank
Yeah. Thanks
everybody for
again, everybody,
joining
for
us.
watching.
Be, as Rich always says, be kind to everybody. Um,
Yeah,
hopefully, and hopefully people are kind to you
yeah.
because that doesn't happen a lot in this world anymore. And everybody needs that.
I agree, David. 100%.
Um, with that, I'm going to throw our outro up, and you guys have a
See you
great
guys later, man.
night.
Thanks for watching.
And I'm going to say that's a wrap.